Hello and welcome to the beginning of the FA Cup journey for the Lions as we take on our local rivals, Bradford Park Avenue, and after the 2-0 loss to our bitter rivals just 11 days ago, revenge will certainly be in the sights for Guiseley. Well, I'm Tom Feaheny and I'm joined by Francis Granger. How you doing, Francis?
Hi Tom, not bad.
So Francis, it's the case today, Guiseley trying to get to the third qualifying round, of course 3 rounds, then you're in that first proper round. Just what are your thoughts on the FA Cup for Guiseley?
Well, I think because they've had a very sort of indifferent league form, I think it'll be a good break for them. They've had quite good reaction from the way they've played in the last 2 games despite the defeats, so I think this could be a welcome break for them to get their cup campaign going with revenge on their mind.
Do you think today is all about the result though, not about the performances? After some really good performances against Bradford Park Avenue, against Hendersford, in the end that were 2 losses. Is today just about getting the performance, putting it to one side and focusing on the result and getting to the third qualifying round?
I think it's quite a bit on result because guys will have quite a bit of revenge on their mind from their defeat the other week. It's also keeping that level of performance because if they keep playing like they have done, then the win should surely be around the corner fairly soon, you'd have liked to have thought. Just
what have you made of the team so far under Mark Bauer?
I think the team, it's a strong lineup. It's fairly similar to last week. Michael Burns played a key role.
Okay, so in terms of Mark Bauer, well, I spoke to Mark Bauer about half an hour ago, and this is what he had to say about today's game and also the new signing who signed this morning.
Right now.
Is it nice to have a break from the league going into the FA Cup?
Possibly. I mean, it's a different feel, a bit more atmosphere. That cup feel to it just gives it that added extra bit. It's a local derby as well, but at the end of it, there's potentially, we win 3 games, we can win today and get through. Another 2 games after that, you have the chance of drawing the likes of Sheffield United, Coventry, Preston, Bradford. So there's a real big prize on offer for who can get through, and our lads are desperate to be in with a chance of getting that prize.
Speaking of Bradford, Lewis Swain has joined on a month's loan. Just what are your thoughts on him?
Well, it's an area that we're constantly looking at, just bringing reinforcements with Alex Johnson only being on loan from Halifax. They've refused permission for him to play, so with Craig Hobson as well, that's after very short in that department. He's a player that comes highly recommended and looked to do well against us when he was at Bradford Park Avenue last week, so the sort of presence, and he's a good size and a lot of pace. Hopefully he can fit in, get on the end of a few of the through balls that hopefully the likes of Rothery and Brooksby and Burns can stick through for him.
Will he be starting today?
Yes, he'll start the game today.
Well, Mark Bauer joined me, and Lewis Swain, the new signing from Bradford City. Of course, he scored against Guiseley 11 days ago during that 2-0 win for Park Avenue. Just what are your thoughts on Lewis Swain? Do you think he's a good signing for the club?
I think he's a useful signing because I think guys do need a few young faces, and he looked very bright last time they played out, so he could be a useful addition today, certainly.
What do you think he'll bring to the club?
I think from I remember from the last month, he had quite a bit of pace, quite strong player, quite sharp in his skillful side, so I think that could be perhaps a bit of flair what guys you need at the moment.
In terms of the squad itself, then there are 1 or 2 suspensions today. 1 or 2 players are not available. Alex Johnson, do you think he'll be a big miss today? Of course, Halifax have said no, he can't play today because they don't want him to be cup tied for Halifax when he leaves the club, when he leaves Guiseley after the loan expires.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly had a positive season at the end of last year with Halifax, and he did play well when for Guiseley. He looked very sharp, so he could be a bit of a miss today. But it's important guys who keep that level of confidence from their performance and keep focusing on that. It's a real mental strength today.
In terms of the other strikers, then, just what are your thoughts on Alex Priestley and James Burgess?
I mean, James Burgess, I think we saw him in pre-season. He looked strong. He had a good eye for goal. He has been a bit sort of quiet as when it's got into the business end of the season. So we need a bit of a performance of him. Adam Priestley, I think we also need a performance. He's been a bit inconsistent and a bit wanting in games. So I think these two big sort of onus on these players today.
Well, talking about the rivals today, Bradford Park Avenue. 8 games now without a loss. It's a fantastic run to go on. Do you think they're going to be coming to Nethermoor on an absolute high, or do you think maybe with it being the FA Cup, that might take something away from that 8-game winless run?
I mean, that's a very sort of interesting question. I mean, I certainly think there'll be much more sort of positive feeling with Guiseley, because they've been playing well and also getting the results. They're looking quite, at the moment, contenders for the playoffs. So I think it's interesting with it being a cup game. I think form goes out the window, and yeah, I think we've been for quite an even game today.
Do you think Bradford Park Avenue maybe have an advantage that they played on Tuesday, Guiseley didn't? Park Avenue got a big win, a 3-2 win against Boston United, and a very good performance as well, I will say. Do you think that gives them more confidence going into it, or do you think Guiseley are at an advantage because they're a bit more rested?
I suppose it's a question between sort of rest time and form. I think Bradford will have been a bit more of a high. I think Guiseley. Regarding the rest period, yeah, I think regarding the rest period, it might be just what Guiseley needed, because like I said, they've played well but not got the results. So maybe it's a bit more to settle down and break things down and focus on today's game. Whereas, Bradford's form will also be an important factor. So,
well, do you think Guiseley will be maybe just having one in the league though as well? They've got Altrincham next week. That's going to be a big game. Guiseley will be facing one or two familiar faces. Of course, James Walshaw, who left in the summer. Do you think the FA Cup will be their total priority today, or is it maybe just having a look at Altrincham and seeing what they're doing as well?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about this earlier, and I think with at this point in the last 2 seasons, guys, they've started the league quite well, but because it's been indifferent, I think their priority will be on the league, because they're in a bit of a precarious position despite their last 2 performances in the last 2 games. So I think this is a bit of a break. I did wonder if there was going to be a few more perhaps sort of fringe players in the squad, but it looks a fairly sort of full strength from the resources Mark Bauer has.
Well, Guiseley, of course, is a community club, and there are a few events to talk about. Franks has talked to Craig Shersden moments ago about a racing night which is going to happen on the 19th of October, and it'll start at 7 p.m.
Mike's on.
It's been going for the last 2 years. What do you enjoy most about the evening?
It's probably the best attended of all our events. After the barbecue that we opened the season with traditionally, it's a good atmosphere, lots of people, the element of not knowing what's going to win, and the element that you can win a few bob on the night as well. So it's a very popular event.
Okay, so how many sort of crowds do you get roughly? Is it open to younger kids and fans?
Yeah, it's open to families. It's open to everybody. I mean, not just members of the supporters club. Anybody that's here is quite happy to come along. We try and arrange the event to have it on a day when we have a home match, so that people can hang around after and then just follow straight on into the evening. Unfortunately, in previous years, we've held it on days when the match we've meant to be having has been postponed. But we still have crowds of 50 or 60 people here then. We're anticipating that we'll have somewhere between 80 and 100 would be a good number to get.
1800. Is it
80 to 100.
Oh. And does it bring sort of players and supporters close together?
Well, that's the idea, because we try and hold it on a day when we do have a home match. A lot of the players will be hanging around anyway for the Man of the Match awards and things afterwards. So the hope is that they will hang on just an hour or two longer and join in with the supporters.
Well, do you have sort of any tips for people getting involved with the betting and horses?
It really is pot luck. It is completely random. That's the nice thing about it. You could come away with a fiver on every race if you pick the right horses. You could come away losing your shirt. Well, the real crux of the thing is the TriCast. If you can predict the finishing order in the last race of the first 3 horses, then you stand to win a pot of maybe £40 or £50 solely on that race.
Yeah, and there's also the horse owners option.
Yes, indeed. Pretty much all of the horses are sold now. We might have maybe a dozen or so horses left. At the princely sum of £2 per horse, you can own a racehorse. You get a drink before the race, post-race. You get the honour of picking a prize if your horse wins.
Oh, very good. And from when you started it a few years ago, are there any sort of new ideas for this year? Do you have any ideas that are currently thinking for the event itself?
The main spread has been just to get a wider audience, really. Originally it was the supporters club, and then it was supporters club and everyone, and we hope that again by holding it on a day when we have a home match that people will just make the effort to stay on a little bit longer than they normally would. We'll be over and done with probably by about 9:30 at the latest, and it's a good family event. So probably 70-75% of the people that come bring the kids, bring the family. Dad might come to the match with the kids and Mum joins him later.
Very communal. Thanks very much.
You're quite welcome.
So that'll be the race night at Nethermoor on Saturday the 19th of October. Starts at 7 o'clock and all welcome.
Well, from one great community night there to another, on Tuesday the 8th, there will be a fantastic event at the clubhouse. It's Meet the Manager night. Mark Bauer, Danny Ellis, Adi Towers will be there, and there'll be a quiz from 8 p.m. Maybe a prize or two along the way. We'll have to wait and see about that. And also a Q&A with the 3 people I've mentioned just there. Well, the team news has just reached us now, and for Guiseley, it is Steve Drench in net. The outfield players are Jack Rea, Rhys Maynell, who remains the captain and remains at centre-back, Michael Potts, Spencer Harris, Ben Parker, Wayne Brooksby, Jake Lawler, Lewis Swain on his debut, of course, and Michael Burns. The substitutions for Guiseley: Jamil Iblay, Andy Holdsworth, Paul Ennis, Phil Marsh, Zach Dale, John Worsnop, and James Burgess. Francis, what do you make of the lineup then?
I think it's fairly strong. I did wonder if there was going to be a few more perhaps fringe players or youngsters in the team, with it being the cup and with the position they are in the league. Perhaps Zach Dale, but it looks like a fairly strong side. He's trying to get that continuity from the last 2 games, so I think it's important to keep their heads up, really.
Just how weird must it be for Lewis Swain, though? 11 days ago he scores against Guiseley. Now he makes his debut against the team he's just been playing for.
Yeah, it is bizarre. It's one of those things you probably get a bit of banter about when he comes. It's like similar to Alex Johnson when he scored against Guiseley last season in the first leg. So there will be a few smiles there among players.
What do you make of Rhys Maynell playing at centre back still? Of course, he played against Hendersford in that position. Might have reverted back to full back, but he stays centre back. Do you think that's a good call by Mark Bauer?
Yeah, I think he's shown he's quite sort of versatile and solid in those post positions. He has looked fairly comfortable, and I think at the moment, personally, I think he's one of the strongest defenders with Danny Ellis out from the injury. So I would be quite confident looking at that.
You mentioned that you thought maybe 1 or 2 more youth players would have been put into the starting 11. Who would you say would be them youth players you would put into the starting team?
Well, I suppose in terms of when he's come on, Zach Dale, because he did seem to come of age at times in some cup ties last season, and I think he could give me a few more fixes, and he could be a real perhaps regular in the next year or 2. So perhaps Zach Dale and perhaps James Burgess to get that performance, because from when he showed pre-season, when he looked a much more stronger player.
Do you think Zach Dale could be someone who might go out on loan, or do you think he'll stay here and learn his graft, maybe off the bench and getting the odd 20 minutes, or do you think it would be better for him to go out on loan for a few months, get first team football, 90 minutes week in, week out? Which way would you go about that?
Yeah, I totally understand that. I mean, there'll be a tipping point because, right, I need more playing time, but I think because the precarious position guys are in the table, because there's quite a bit of a transition. I think guys, you probably do need to hold on to him, because I think they need to. This is the time to use him, because there's only a few, I'd say, sort of regular first teamers now, because last 2 seasons they've looked stronger, but this season it's a bit of a transition. So I think they need to. It's probably important they do hold on to Zach Dale.
Well, I was going to say, of course, Mark Bowers. I mean, he's only had 3 games. Do you think some of these players, though, that are seen as fringe players, can really just show Mark Bauer that they're not fringe players and they should be first-team players?
Well, I think there's a discussion that if perhaps, like I was saying, Zach Dale gets a bit more playing time, I think he's got a chance. And Andy Holdsworth will be on the bench today, but he would usually be a regular. Wayne Brooksby, I think perhaps he's been a bit sort of tailed off a bit from what I've seen in the start. He could do with a bit better performance.
Well, in terms of the FA Cup, then there's a nice bit of money if you win this match. Do you think the money will be an incentive?
I think it will be an incentive to an extent, but it's quite a sort of I think the biggest incentive is being able to maybe get a tie in the first round against one of the big lights in the football league, perhaps a Sheffield United, a Preston sort of team like that. That's the real incentive.
Well, in terms of the bench, who would you say, them 7 players, of course it's an FA Cup match, them 7 players, who do you think could just come off the bench and make a real impact for Guiseley if that would need to happen?
If needed, I think you'd have to probably say Andy Holdsworth, because he's one of the heart and souls of Guiseley. As I've said before, Zach Dale. And the third one, that's quite an open one. And maybe perhaps looking at Jamil Ibble, not good on paper, but not had the strongest of starts. If he gets a bit of confidence, then he could be if he shows his ability, then I'd say him as the third sub.
Well, in terms of the match itself, just what kind of match are you expecting?
I think I'll be expecting a very tight game, really. I think if in terms of, if you look at both teams, Bradford will be favourites, but I think if guys can keep their heads up and take the positives from the last 2 games, that's the most important thing, not get too disheartened, then I think we could be in for a replay in Bradford.
Well, I hear you saying that Bradford Park Avenue are the favourites. In my opinion, if guys can play like they did when they lost 2-0 to Bradford Park Avenue, then surely that little bit of luck, that's what Mark Bauer's side needs. Just the ball to hit off the crossbar and go in rather than go out. During the last 2 games, that seems to have happened a lot. Do you think luck will change today?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you think the luck for Guiseley will change today?
Yeah, hopefully. I think if they keep, I think it's a test of mental strength. If they focus on how they perform rather than results, and not listen too much to. Obviously, there will be negative saying, well, it's still 2 defeats. That if they keep sort of. It's all about how Mark Bauer's prepared them psychologically, really, to keep that level of performance up and believe that they'll get that win round the corner.
Well, since Mark Bauer has become permanent manager, he's only been managing at Nethermoor Park. There's been no away games. Next week and the week after, it's Altrincham away and North Ferriby United away. 2 tough matches. But do you think that might help Mark Bauer to get his side away from Nethermoor, maybe change the playing style to maybe a more counter-attacking play? Do you think that could work out for Mark Bauer and maybe see some more points on the board for the Lions?
Yeah, I mean, they did look slightly. They've been more attacking in the last 2 fixtures, and if they keep that level of performance and get a win today, then I think they could be in a very strong position to give Altrincham a test, because they definitely have got the capability to get to get something, which will be a tough fixture. So it's all about. I think today will play an important part in what result they get at Altrincham.
So you think it's going to be a case that if guys can get a win today, then next week they'll be a bit more confident, a bit of momentum on their side, and then maybe it'll be 3 points in the league for guys, which are much needed at the moment.
Yeah, and certainly, and also if they looked a bit more cohesive as a unit in the last 2 fixtures ago. I think before they looked a bit sort of drifting and not keep getting a consistent system. So I think yes, if they get that win, then I think if they keep the same system like they did the last 2 games and win, then Mark Bauer can maybe keep the continuity, and then they've got. I think they do have a chance in Altrincham.
I was just going to ask that. Do you think Mark Bauer has picked his 11, do you think he's got the 11 in mind, or do you think there will always be the odd change here or there, game by game?
What do you think he might rotate tinkering? Is that what you're sort of saying?
Well, no, what I'm saying is, do you think Mark Bauer has his 11 in mind and he knows who they are, or do you think there will always be the odd change on a game by game basis?
I think with the start that I think there'll be one or two changes, but I think if we're looking at the lineups from the last few games, I think he's getting an idea of what he wants to be his ideal starting 11.
Well, Ben Parker has joined, former Leeds United defender. Some great publicity for the club, speaking to Nick Heath about just how many people have looked at the website during the last few weeks. But he's also a very good player as well, and he's someone who will bring something to the club. Just what will he bring to Guiseley?
Well, he's had a lot of experience at Leeds United. I'm just welcoming Dalias onto the bench here. He's had a lot of useful experience, and he can bring a bit of leadership for the players at the back, because defensively they have looked a bit wanting it at times. So I think he'll be a useful addition. Does bring.
Well, Francis, I've got to ask, what is your score prediction for today?
I think I'm going to go a 2-2 and the replay at Bradford.
Do you think it might be 2 late goals for Guiseley, then a bit of luck at last for Mark Bauer's side?
Yeah, and I think even if they get a draw today from the form, I think they'll be very positive. I can see maybe Guiseley taking the lead, Bradford turning it around, and then Guiseley getting a late equaliser.
Well, just looking at Bradford Park Avenue's lineup, they haven't changed their lineup for quite a while. I think it's 6 games in a row now, the same lineup. Do you think they're a side that are a more consolidated side, a side which are more in harmony than Guiseley, just for the amount of changes Guiseley are having to make game by game due to the injuries and suspensions?
What do you mean? Do you think they're more of the unit? Is that
yes, that'd be my question.
Yeah, I mean it's a fairly similar lineup to what they had when they played Guiseley. And despite Guiseley playing well, they look very much more confident, even though despite being outplayed at times, it does look a very, he's keeping with their manager is keeping with a very sort of strong lineup.
We're talking about 1 or 2 players that are returning to Nethermoor today. Nicky Boschel, who only lasted 35 minutes against Boston United on Tuesday. Just what kind of a threat do you think he'll be today? Do you think he still maybe wants a bit of revenge for how he left the club?
Yeah, I suppose there'll be a bit of revenge of what happened last season, but he was a very sort of strong player. He was very good with his passing, quite a fast player, and I think he will be a dangerous threat.
Well, just looking at the Bradford Park Avenue side, who would you say is their danger man?
Their danger man, I think at the moment looking at the team, probably obviously Nicky Boschel and Chip Chilaka. From when I saw, he looked quite sort of dangerous with his pace. So,
of course, Chip Chilaka, the former Harrogate Town striker who joined Bradford Park Avenue on a free during the summer. He's played really well on Tuesday, I must say, and he has got 1 or 2 goals under his belt. Interestingly, just talking about Chip Chilaka, he was a striker at Harrogate Town. At Bradford Park Avenue, he seems to be playing more as a winger, and there are 1 or 2 Guiseley players who you could say maybe could be playing in a more attacking role. The likes of Zach Dale, I think he could push forward to be a striker. What are your thoughts on some of the players that are maybe just having to play a little bit out of position for their preference of choice?
What do you mean for the Guiseley players out of?
Yes.
Difficult to say, really. I know Michael Burns is his role as main defender, but he's got quite forward at times and looked quite a sort of threat. So I think he's shown a bit of versatility in getting forward. If you ask me that question.
Well, it's Guiseley against Bradford Park Avenue. We are kicking off in a few minutes' time, and delighted to say that Danny Ellis has just joined us in the commentary position. He will be providing some updates alongside Colin Robertson, and kick off in a few minutes' time. Just going through the team news one last time then. For Guiseley, it's Steve Drench, Jack Raya, Reece Maynell, who's the captain, Michael Potts, Spencer Harris, Ben Parker, Wayne Brooksby, Jake Lawler, Louis Swain on his debut, Michael Burns, Gavin Rovery, and the substitutions for Guiseley: Jamil Libble, Andy Holdsworth, Paul Ennis, Phil Marsh, Zach Dale, John Worsnop, and James Burgess. Well, all the players have now left the pitch. They're getting ready. I think the Guard of Honour, is it getting ready? I think it is. We will hand you over now. First of all, it's Danny Ellis, but first of all, it's Colin Robertson.
Thanks, Tom, and welcome here to Nethermoor on a very sunny day, sunny afternoon. In fact, we're just getting our wires crossed here, so we're all wired up in the press box here and getting confused as we hand over the microphones. But we are looking forward to what promises to be a very exciting FA Cup second round qualifying game, and not the tie that either of these sides necessarily would have wanted, a local derby. And as Tom says, we are delighted to be joined ahead of this game, and who will be giving his expert views throughout is Danny Ellis. And Danny, welcome, but I'm sure I can say for everyone, as much as we're delighted you're up here, we'd much rather you were down there on the field.
So would I, to be honest. Lovely day for it. And yeah, it's classical cup game, I'm sure, and hopefully we can get a win under his belt. It's been a while since we've since we've scored a couple of goals. It'd be nice today. And really have a good performance too. Yeah,
it must be difficult at the moment because that run of form isn't great, is it? You know, the back-to-back defeats, even though the performances in the last two matches have been pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, look at the game we played, especially even against these last a week on Tuesday back, and first half we could have been maybe 2 or 3 goals in front. And when looking going for you, it's a case of the old saying is the opposing team will always get a chance, and they have done, and they've scored 2 goals. Doesn't help, of course, when you go out of 10 minutes. Just look for you at this stage of season. So hopefully we can turn it round today.
Well, of course, you're up here because you've got that injury that you sustained in that game. What's the latest on how you're progressing with the recovery?
It is getting better. Got to have a scan on Wednesday. Seen the specialist. It's said it's medial meniscus. So hopefully I'll have a scan, get results, and hopefully get a little bit of good news too. So
yeah, well, we're all fingers crossed to have you back out there on the field. I mean, it's been difficult, hasn't it, from a back four challenge. Mark Bauer's absence has come in as the gaffer. He obviously had to play himself against Boston United alongside you. But it's all gone wrong. What with Matt Clark being injured, yourself being injured. And we saw Reece Maynell at centre half. Is that what you'd expect again this afternoon?
Yeah.
What is the case?
Yeah, I think it's just really unfortunate with injuries and suspensions, especially to us back four. It doesn't help a team. You like to form some sort of partnerships, and it just seems to be getting hacked away a little bit at the minute. But hopefully today, I think Reece will be playing in centre half with Spencer, and hopefully they'll do a good job for us like they have done before.
Yeah, certainly unlucky against Hensford last week. Really cracking first half, and you must have thought, how on earth, just like everyone else in the stadium, how on earth were we not 2 or 3 goals to the good? Oh
yeah, of course. I mean, especially first half an hour, I think they didn't know what hit them really. Should have maybe been 2 or 3 goals up, like you say. And then second half, it's like the saying I said before, they're always going to get a chance, and 2 mistakes, 2 goals for them. So hopefully today there'll be no mistakes. We'll get a couple of early goals, and so shut up shop.
And you'll be no doubt, just like everyone, wanting to see the Lions progress, because you'll be back for the latter rounds of the qualifying, and who knows, perhaps this year we could get that first round tie and that Plum League opposition, or maybe even the TV game. We've been due it, haven't we? We've been missing it for the last few years.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's dream, especially at non-league football, even lower league football, just to get a draw maybe on telly, and surprise a few teams, because there's some quality in non-league, and everyone looks forward to FA Cup too, so you never know.
Well, we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we're looking forward to what promises to be a very, very tense affair here at Nethermoor, where Guiseley are taking on Bradford Park Avenue once again, because we only met just a few weeks ago in the league. Delighted now that the 2 teams are coming out onto the field, and they are welcomed by the home crowd. We'll be bringing you all of the coverage to this game here on Guiseley AFC Radio, the full 90 minutes, and as the teams line up. Just a quick word, Danny, actually, on the academy. You've had a tremendous start to the season.
Yeah, played 3 games, won 3 games in league, so absolutely couldn't have asked for any more, really. Hopefully it can carry on. We had a tough game on here against Brighouse on Wednesday, sorry, it was Tuesday, I keep thinking Wednesday. 2-2, so we've got a replay back at their place, so yeah, it's going well, enjoying it, and hopefully get some good young players coming through.
And obviously it's important, isn't it, for the club as a whole, that the academy lines up and links up with the first team squad, and the better players can progress on.
Yeah, it's massive for them. I mean, you know, they get experience training with us. It's always going to help the playing. And obviously, if they see some players that are training with us every day, it gives them a good burst of confidence that you know, if they are doing well, they will get an opportunity.
Well, good luck to the academy side in that replay. The FA Youth Cup, such a big opportunity to progress, and who knows, again, like in the FA Cup, who you could meet in the later rounds. Let's just quickly go through the team lineups. Let's just first of all start with the visitors, Bradford Park Avenue. They line up with John Lamb, the goalkeeper, Chris Howarth, Jamie Price, Richard Marshall, James Knowles, Stephen Mallory, Chib Chilaka, Nathan Hott, Alex Davison, Nicky Boschel, Paul Walker. And on the bench, extra substitutes because it's a cup match are allowed. So we've got 7, Tom Corner, Dermot McMurray, Ross Daly, Charlie Clamp, Jason St. Just, Scott Maxfield and Adam Clayton. And then for the Lions, we line up as follows this afternoon. Stephen Drench in goal, Jack Rea, Rhys Maynell, Michael Potts, Spencer Harris, Ben Parker, Wayne Brooksby, Jake Lawler, Louis Swain, who makes his debut, who of course was playing for Avenue in the return fixture, or the earlier fixture this season, Michael Burns and Gavin Rothery. And then on the bench, Jamil Eblay, Andy Holdsworth, Paul Ennis, Phil Marsh, Zach Dale, John Worsnop and James Burgess. So a full bench and plenty of options this afternoon to change things round, isn't there? Danny. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you've got quality on the bench as well. Likes of Andy Holdsworth, Paul Ennis, Marshy, Zach Dale. They've all got, they've got plenty to offer, and I'm sure if they get a chance today, they'll show it.
Referee today, Ian Hussin, and Craig Buxton and Michael Ainsworth, the 2 assistants. Avenue playing in all green, and Guiseley, of course, in white shirts, dark blue shorts and socks. Back in the home kit after the Action for Children weekend last week, in which we played in our away kit, of course, where we show the logo of the charity on the front of that kit. And the referee's just going through his final checks before we get underway. And he does indeed blow the whistle. And immediately Avenue launch the ball forward, up here towards Chilaka. Shadowed well here by Parker. Parker wins the ball off him. Burns helps it up into the opposite half. And immediately Swain goes chasing for it. Stephen Mallory gets ahead of him and then lays the ball into Howarth, who helps it back to Knowles. And Knowles launches it forward. It's pretty aimless, to be fair, all the way back to Stephen Drench. And early chance for the goalkeeper to get a feel for the ball. Wonderful conditions, aren't they, Danny, for the football today? Is it just verging on being a bit too hot?
Yeah, a little bit too hot maybe. Yeah, a little bit too hot maybe. But beautiful conditions, especially for a spectator's point of view. Yeah, so it's cracking here.
Davidson just tries to get the ball through to the goalkeeper. Stephen Drench steps across and launches it forward up to the halfway line. Burns collects, lays it back to Lawler. Lawler out to Rothery. Rothery and Burns combine well. Just a little bit short though, and it's picked up well by Nathan Hott, the Avenue captain. Takes over the halfway line, lays it into Richard Marshall. Marshall onto the edge of the centre circle. Misplaces his tackle under pressure from Wayne Brooksby. And Avenue have the throw. Rea sends it back to Stephen Drench. And the goalkeeper launches it up to the halfway line, where Louis Swain goes looking, but is penalised for an infringement, and it'll be a free kick to Avenue. They lay it forward up towards the corner, but it can't be kept in play, and it goes out into touch. And immediately we have a throw in down there in that deep right hand corner. And the first break in play. And no doubt we'll be getting a drinks break shortly. Bright start. What sort of thoughts go through your mind when you make your mark in the early stages of one of these games, Danny?
Well, first and foremost is try not to concede early doors. Try keep it tight. Just sort of try to suss each other out. And try just keep the ball, yeah.
Ball's all the way back with John Lamb at the moment. Trying not to concede absolutely is key in a cup tie. Up here towards Potts. Potts helps it along to Gavin Rothery. Rothery lifts it upfield, but it's cut out here by Howarth. And Howarth now can help it into the Avenue half. And Avenue just retaining possession here. Helped out towards Chilaka. Cut out really well by Ben Parker. Ben Parker gets it square into Gavin Rothery. In towards the feet of Louis Swain, but he's beaten to it. Of course, his opposition knowing his movement very well. Chilaka helps the ball to the left here. And Avenue now come forward with a bit of purpose now. Down the left-hand side. Charging down with Paul Walker. Tries to get a drive away, but it's cut out. And it's gone out for a throw, or in fact a free kick down that far side for a challenge by Walker. And now Guiseley have a chance just to take the sting out of it. What do you make of the early start so far?
I think both teams are a little bit nervy. Both teams going quite long. Nothing really much happened, to be fair, at the minute, so I'm sure it'll start to break. 10 minutes or so.
So we've had about 4 minutes. And Guiseley now come forward here with Rothery in towards the area. Louis Swain with a deft little chest. Gets the ball to Burns. Burns with a left-footed drive just wide of the left upright. And in the first meaningful attack, Guiseley almost get the first goal of the game.
Yeah, great ball into the box and great touch from Louis Swain with his chest. Just chests it outside to Michael Burns, and he's just leaning back just a touch. Just slices the ball past the top left-hand upright of the goal. But great chance, to be fair, it was.
So Avenue start, almost first blood to Guiseley. And now Guiseley have the ball with Jake Lawler. Lays it back to Stephen Drench. Drench lofts it forward towards Louis Swain. Headed away by the centre-half Knowles. Then back into Guiseley territory where Chilaka goes chasing down the right-hand side. It's beaten to it. Ben Parker knew where the ball was going, and it's gone out into touch for a throw-in. Certainly will have given Guiseley a lift, the first opportunity there. Once again, we'd like to see one of those go in the back of the net, wouldn't we?
I'll tell you what, you would, yeah. Nice early goals, especially what you want in games like this, especially with derby games. It'd have been nice for us, that.
Out wide here to James Knowles. Knowles out to the left back, Jamie Price. Price helps it forward, but he's forced back. And now Knowles has time to pick out. He dawdles on the ball, and Gavin Rothery almost capitalises. Cool defending, though, from Avenue. Before a sloppy pass means that Chris Howarth can't keep the ball in touch, and Guiseley get the throw. Quickly taken by Burns. Rothery can't help it on. In the end, hoiked back down the other end of the field where Spencer Harris picks it up. To Reece Maynell, the makeshift centre-half pairing. So far, unbroken in this game. Now comes forward as Potts charges into the opposite half. And Jake Lawler tries to take it quickly. Referee says that's too far away from the incident. Guiseley start playing the ball a little square. Now out to Jack Rea. Brooksby lays it back into the Guiseley half. All the bodies in the Avenue area, though, in the Avenue half at the moment. Reece Maynell, the captain, lays it forward, looking for Rothery. Rothery beaten to it by Nathan Hott. And Avenue retain possession inside their own half. Under pressure, though, here from Brooksby. Now Paul Walker inside his own half, lays it back here to Nathan Hott. Hott out to the right-hand side here, where Chris Howarth is waiting to collect. Keeps it in touch. And there's a shout, a handball. Nothing given from the officials. Howarth comes forward once again. Lays it to the left-hand side. Nathan Hott Lays it forward, cut out well, really well here by Michael Potts, and Potts can come forward now. Lays a good ball forward, a really crucial ball here for Louis Swain. Takes a shot with the left boot, just wide of the left upright once again. But what a ball there from Michael Potts in the build-up to that move. Put through Louis Swain, but he just couldn't apply the finish.
Yeah, it was a great interception from Michael Potts there, back in his own half. He's driven forward probably about 30 yards, played an absolutely quality ball straight through for Louis Swain, who was at it first time. Maybe might have wanted to take a touch, but great effort and great chance again.
So another opportunity falls to Guiseley in this opening period. But once again, it's the same old story in that we just can't seem to get the ball over that white line. Guiseley now being forced to defend because Chris Howarth has the ball, plays it square here to Nathan Hott. Hott helps it forward, cut out really well here by Jack Rea, and Jack Rea launches it down the other end of the field. He almost wanted to say Potts there. Is it only me, Danny, that confuses Potts and Rea?
No, I do it sometimes when I'm playing with them, so no.
Ball launches forward, and it's gone out into touch for a throw-in inside the Guiseley half. Just in left-back position. And it's now a chance for Ben Parker to get the ball forward up towards Gavin Rothery, who's turned his man well, got over towards the halfway line. Well shadowed by Richard Marshall. Good work from Michael Potts to recover the ball, though, inside the centre circle. Plays the ball down the left-hand side. Michael Burns goes chasing. Gets the ball on the touchline. Under great pressure here from Howarth. Burns goes down to the touchline. Gets the ball across the face of the 6-yard box. Headed away. Again, good incisive play from Guiseley. Forcing the pace. Jake Lawler in here to Brooksby. Sort of 25 yards from goal. Takes a knock. And Guiseley earn themselves a free kick in a dangerous position here.
Yeah, Michael Burns again playing a great ball over the top towards Michael Burns, who's put a good ball in the box. And to be fair, great defending from the centre half for Avenue. I think it was James Knowles.
Now Burns has the ball from the free kick, plays it into the area. Not so good this time, headed away by Chalaka. Chance for the counter-attack here as Alex Davison picks it up on the left-hand side. Under pressure, goes down from the challenge of Michael Potts, and the referee calls him back. And, Davidson was away, so the referee has pulled him back. And I think that's his first discussion, first words of the afternoon. I'll have to watch, I think the next one, I imagine, in this scenario is a yellow, once he's given you the calm down discussion.
Yeah.
Universal language, isn't it, Danny? The calm down hands.
Yeah.
You've seen a few this season, haven't you?
One or two, yeah. Don't feel much in that. It probably looked worse than what it was.
Bradford have the ball here with Stephen Mallory. He lays it back to James Knowles. Comes over the halfway line. Helped out down the left-hand side. Flicked on. Nice work here from Avenue. Found to Alex Davison on the edge of the area. Lines up the shot. Blocked by Jake Lawler. Well worked there from Avenue once again to recover the ball. Good defensive work though from Guiseley, keeping them at bay. The ball forward again towards the edge of the area. Helped back by Jack Rea to Stephen Drench. The goalkeeper just plays a little game between him and Richard Marshall as to whether he's going to kick it or not. And he helps it on. But the flick out, and it's gone out for a throw-in. The referee calls it back because it's not quite in the right place. In fact, there's going to be an early substitute there. Not quite sure what that's for. Did you see anything in terms of injuries?
No. Prices.
Yeah, it's the full-back, Jamie Price. And he's going to be replaced by Scott Maxfield. So a blow for Avenue this afternoon. In contrast to what happened in the previous encounter. But he must have had an injury. What do you make of that? It looks like he must. I didn't see any particular challenge that led to it.
No,
just a knock.
I think it might just be a knock or maybe a muscular injury. Couldn't quite understand it for tactical reason, but must be injured from what I can see.
It's 10 minutes gone. Guiseley now under pressure. concede the throw about midway through their own half. Avenue have the ball now on the left-hand side, come forward, earn themselves another throw-in. And it's in a fairly dangerous position, about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. The ball keeps moving over on this side, switched by Marshall, out here towards Howarth. Howarth helps the ball into Hott. Hott has a heavy touch on it, but still it falls kindly here for Chilaka. Chilaka from Ben Parker. Parker can't get the clearance, only as far as Howarth. Good movement again by Hott, and Howarth gets the ball again, this time on the right-hand side, as Avenue move forward down that channel. Forward here to Alex Davison. He spins, tries to go past Jake Lawler. Lawler gets a touch, and that's Avenue's first corner of the afternoon. And Guiseley now have to be on their mettle here. This is the danger. The corner's taken, goes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A little touch on there from Rhys Maynell, takes it away from Alex Davison, and it's gone out for a corner on the other side. Good aerial threat here from Bradford.
Yeah, great defending there by Rhys Maynell at the back stick. Had to be right, otherwise it could have been.
Corner comes in from the other side. This time very coolly helped away by Parker. Up towards Swain. Swain nods it back down. And Swain is the only man in the opposite half. And he helps it back to Rothery. Does well. Now it's forward here to Brooksby. Brooksby's helped over by Howarth. It's quite an easy going to ground. And in the end, Chilaka blocks Brooksby and concedes a throw-in. Short now to Jake Lawler. Into Rothery. Brooksby. Lawler under pressure. Needs possession. And now Marshall can come on the counter-attack. He's got Davison ahead of him if he can find him and fade him through. Guys, he hold it up. Jack Rea. He goes to the left-hand side where Walker gets it. Jack Rea tries to hold him up. Walker goes past him down to the touchline. Cleared well by Rhys Maynell.
Great challenge from Rhys there. Had to be spot on again. Great challenge.
Now Walker has the ball down the left-hand side. It's come into the area, looking for Chilaka. Stephen Dredge gets a palm on it to take it away from the Avenue frontman. And now it's here with Rothery, looking to counter-attack. Breathless pace to this game so far. Rothery helps it on to Burns. Burns concedes possession, but Rothery picks it up once again. Jake Lawler on the halfway line. Good ball here into Rothery. Rothery goes in towards the edge of the area, skips past one man, goes into the area. It's helped away by Howarth, only as far as Swain. Swain trips on the ball for a moment, but gets it back into the area, and it's a little shot from the edge of the area with a left foot from Michael Potts. It just goes wide of the mark once again. But great tenacity from Guiseley to keep the ball moving, and almost paid off in the end.
Yeah, another great effort, edge of the box again. First time shot from Michael Potts. Just dragged it a little bit, just past the far post. But yeah, another great chance for Guiseley.
Well, it's time to get a breath for a moment, but no sooner than the long ball goes forward. And it was looking for Nicky Boschel. His name we haven't mentioned too much so far, and he was claiming he was pulled back. It's gone all the way back to Stephen Drench. Referee doesn't agree. Brooksby now muscled off the ball here. Just what we would have wanted there. Guiseley to have held the ball into Avenue territory, and they're doing well to press once again here with Gavin Rothery. Rothery in the middle of the park, helps the ball to the left-hand side. Great ball here, looking for Potts. Potts is beaten to it by Mallory. Once again, some of the passing, absolutely top class here from Guys this afternoon. Helped forward into Guys' half. Spencer Harris has to just make sure he keeps a close eye on this and gets the ball all the way back to Stephen Drench. It's a good start, this, isn't it, to this game, Danny?
Yeah, it's had both teams having quite good chances. So yeah, it's
happy with having the Guys' performance in the first 15.
Yeah, you've got to be happy so far. We've been solid. We maybe could have had better at chances, as I said. Just keep it going. I'm sure we'll get another chance.
Avenue have a free kick in their own half. Long here to Chilaka. Chilaka gets a really good nod down. Boschel can't control. Picked up by Paul Walker though. Again, back to goal. 3 white shirts behind him, so he goes wide here to Chris Howarth. Howarth helps it back in here to Walker, and then back to Nathan Hott. The cool temperament of the build-up continues. Hott goes down the left-hand side, shadowed by Rothery. Hott Good skill from him. Takes the ball away from Rothery, but good work here from Gavin Rothery. Forces him all the way back to the halfway line. And James Knoll then plays a long ball forward over the back 4, and then there's an offside decision, which means that Guiseley have a free kick. Good defensive work there from Gavin Rothery as well.
Yeah, he's worked really hard. He's forced him right back, and then they've gone long, and we've held a really good line offside. So yeah, good defending from us.
18 minutes gone. It's Guiseley 0, Bradford Park Avenue 0 in this FA Cup second qualifying round. It's a game that's had plenty of opportunities so far, and Guiseley have had the better of them on another day. And how often have we said that this season? Could have been a couple of goals to the good. Flick on from Boschel. Well watched there by Rhys Maynell. Chests it down in towards Gavin Rothery. Rothery lays it back here, and Harris coolly lays it back to Stephen Drench. Guiseley retaining the ball, and a short one out here to Maynell. He opts to switch the angles inside his own half. Patient stuff here from the Lions. He comes forward now with Spencer Harris. Harris up towards the edge of Louis Swain. Swain just takes a lovely little touch in to feed it into Potts, who's coming forward well this afternoon. Unfortunately, it's taken away from him, and Avenue retain possession before Nicky Boschel puts the touch in. And Ben Parker can't believe it. He thinks that the last touch came off Nicky Boschel there at the near side. And in the end, it's an Avenue throw just inside their own half. They play it forward down the right-hand side, laid back by Chris Howarth all the way back to the goalkeeper, John Lamb. And John Lamb lays it forward where Spencer Harris can get a firm head on it. And now Nathan Hott gets a big head on it and launches it forward. Parker watches Chilaka well. And that battle there between Chilaka and Parker, Parker's got the better of it so far.
So far he has, yeah. He's quite a presence, is Chilaka. I think Ben's done really well against him.
Before any further damage can be done. In the end, it's a throw-in to Avenue down this right-hand side. Taken quickly here by Howarth. Headed back towards Chilaka. Intercepted well by Parker. Chilaka gets the last touch, and it's out for a throw-in, for a goal kick rather. And you're listening to Guiseley AFC Radio, where it's still scoreless here in the FA Cup second round qualifying at Nethermoor. But Guiseley have had the better of the chances. We've said that a few times in recent weeks. And we hope that they'll go on and get the goal as needed soon. Certainly no need to panic at this moment in time, though, is there, Danny?
No, not at all. Looking quite solid at the back. And we have created the better of the chances so far. So
Brooksby plays a nice ball in here, finds Swain and Rothery. Rothery takes the ball off his man. He goes down under the challenge of Maxfield. Nothing given, right on the edge of the area it was. Rothery was looking for that. Guiseley picked the ball up again with Jack Rea. Jack Rea helps it forward here to Gavin Rothery. Rothery plays it into Brooksby. Brooksby on the edge of the area with a little bit of trickery. Tackled just on the edge of that 18-yard box. And now it's here with Potts. Potts tries to beat his man. He's been held up. The Guiseley fans a bit frustrated that he can't get past his man. And then he has to go back to Jake Lawler. Everyone in the Avenue half here. Maynell forward. Bit of a ropey touch there from Burns, but it's back with Maynell. Intercepted well by Mallory. Taken down by Lawler. Now great into Burns. Good football here from Guiseley, but just a little bit too sharp was Richard Marshall. And takes the ball off Gavin Rothery. Now Chilaka comes free on the right-hand side. Lays the ball all the way across the other side of the pitch to Paul Walker. Paul Walker on the edge of the 18-yard box. He has got Jack Rea to beat. Does a lovely little back flick. Helps in Maxfield.
Great defending.
Good tackling
Wayne.
and away.
Yeah, great defending there from Wayne Brooksby. Had to be right again in the box.
Did really well, didn't he? To come back from the overlapping run and make sure he got in front of his man. Corner now to Avenue. And still goalless here at Nethermoor, but Avenue have the corner. They get the ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Helped away by Burns. And now it's a chance for Gavin Rothery to launch the counter-attack. He's got only Louis Swain ahead of him. Great ball from Burns to find Swain. Then Swain helps it back here to Rothery. Rothery takes a shot! Oh, just over the bar. He thinks it's taken a touch. The referee agrees eventually and it's a corner.
What a great ball again. Gavin switched the ball perfectly for Louis Swain, who's played a little 1-2 back to him. Just leaning back again, I think. Just gone over the crossbar. But it took a little deflection, so it's a corner now to Guiseley.
Corner to the Lions. Oh, we're cursing the luck once again up here in the commentary box. 25 minutes gone. It's Guiseley 0, Bradford Park Avenue 0. Burns and Maynell just having a chat with the referee. Maybe Burns just being told just to calm things down. I'm not sure what the incident was, but Burns has the corner anyway. Whips the ball in, up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Lamb gets an unconvincing punch on it. Helped away eventually by Hott. Up to the halfway line. Taken down really well by Davison. Then goes straight to ground. Under pressure from Parker, but certainly didn't look to be any foul involved there.
I think he just tripped up there, to be honest.
Big shout from the crowd, but no more reaction on the pitch, to be fair. Now, good ball forward here towards Brooksby. Guys, he come away once again. Can't go through the massive green shirts that were ahead of him. And it's well helped out here to the right-hand side, where Chalaka now takes the ball over the halfway line. Looks to down the left-hand side. Well held up by Jack Greer. Back now to Maxfield. Now back to Walker. Walker sprays the ball to the other side. Tries to feed in Nicky Boschel.
And I think we're playing a nice high line as well, which is important. Whereas Avenue is sitting off just a little bit deeper, leaving us a little bit of space for Gavin, and he likes to get through.
Now, guys, they have to defend. Alex Davison just gets the ball and he puts it in the back of the net. And it came from nothing, just a long ball forward looking for Davison. And on 26 minutes, it is Avenue who have first blood in this cup tie. And no sooner we're commending Guys' defence and they've been undone. It's Guys 0, Bradford Park Avenue 1.
Well, just as we're saying it about us being solid down the middle and one ball straight through, I think it's taken a deflection and got on the better side for Alex Davidson, who's took a first touch and just hit it straight in bottom corner against the run of play, I'd have said.
Oh, definitely against the run of play. Guys who come forward immediately, looking for an immediate response. Here with Brooks. No time to lick their wounds. It's been a case where guys have had all the chances. And the first time that Avenue have had half a sniff of goal, it's gone in the back of the net. Spencer Harris lays it square here to Maynell. Maynell just takes his eye off the ball for a minute, collects it the second attempt, helps it down the left channel. Looking for Burns, can't get there. Jake Lawler now. Not the news you were hoping for if you're just joining us. It's Guisey 0, Bradford Park Avenue 1. The goal on 26 minutes, just recent last few moments from Alex Davison. But guys, you've had the better of it, and they're coming forward again. Once again here with Swain, out towards the left-hand side, helps it, ball through to Burns. Burns square to Rothery. Rothery on the edge of the area, takes a shot with the right foot. Just a little bit underneath it, and again it's just gone over the bar.
Yeah, great work again by Burns. Getting the ball into Gav's feet on the edge of the box, taking a good touch, and he's trying to sort of whip it into the far top corner, or the far corner, and just got a little bit under it again. But another chance for us.
Certainly feel it's coming, don't you?
Yeah, it's just when's it going to when's that goal going to come, sort of thing, yeah. But I'm sure we'll keep playing as we are, and I'm sure we'll get some more chances.
Well, the goal kick goes straight to Michael Potts. Won back by Marshall. Avenue launch a long one forward, looking for Chilaka. In the end, it's just over him and down to Stephen Drench. Drench gets the ball out really well here to find Louis Swain. Swain down the left-hand channel. The man on loan from Bradford City does really well to go past Howarth, but works a corner. And this is a chance to get some of the big men. You'd have fancied this, wouldn't you, if you were on there?
Yeah, the fancied getting somewhere. But no, great ball again from Drench. He's played a great ball over to Louis Swain, and he's done really well to get a corner from it down this left-hand side again. Yeah, hopefully we can get some on this from this corner.
So, corner comes in from Brooksby, whips it in, headed away at the edge of the 6-yard box, headed back into the area, collected by John Lamb. Either way, the flag was up, so it wouldn't have mattered. The ball goes forward, and quite correctly, Davidson, just making sure he was getting in the way of Pan Parker, is pulled up for a foul. And Guiseley can keep the pressure on.
Final ball where you just get that killer pass and then you finish, but it's coming, I'm sure.
Well, Gavin Rothery's on his feet. Looks a little awkward from your view. Looks like he might continue, do you think? Or just give it a couple of minutes, see how he is?
It looks like he's walking off okay, so I'm sure he'll be... Looks like he's probably going to come back on, the looks of it.
Well, that's good news.
Which is good news.
Yeah, last thing we wanted to see Gavin Rothery off. Fortunately, he's okay. And he's back on the field, but I must admit, for a moment there, he didn't look too good at all, and looked like the injury hoodoo was back. Avenue have the ball anyway, with John Lamb. Comes out of his area, launches it long. Good one as well, finds Walker. Walker gets it across the face of the goal, ahead of everyone, and it's gone out to the other side for a throw-in. But it was a simple ball forward there. And Paul Walker...
He's played a great ball. Whether it's an hopeful or a great ball, I don't know, but it's just got wrong side of Jack Ray and he's hit it first time. I think he's intended to have a shot there, with looks of it, and he's put out for a corner flag.
The throwing comes from Ben Parker. Good work here from Michael Burns in his left back position. And as Burns comes away, referee gives Guiseley a free kick. It's a chance here for Parker to get back up on his feet because he got a little knock there. But just before the goal, we were just talking about how solid the defending was, and obviously the goals then happened. But that was just another example of it, wasn't it?
Prime example, yeah. It would just look so solid, and then one sort of like mistake. It took a slight deflection on the way through to striker, which has favoured the Bradford Park Avenue striker, and obviously Alex has put it away nicely.
Burns gets the ball in the area, looking for Rothery. Rothery beaten to it by two players. Oh, it was a great moment there, almost putting Guiseley through once again. Helped on by Jake Lawler on the halfway line. Cut out. And coolly collected once again by Parker. Header to Burns. Burns takes it down well. Helps it down this left-hand side. Kept in. Swain nutmegs his man. Plays it into Burns. Burns comes square. Looking for Rothery. It's just over Rothery. Easy for the fullback to collect. Frustrating after that build-up play.
Yeah, Michael Burns has tried playing a ball into Gav Rothery on the inside. From this left-hand side again, and he's maybe should have played it along the floor, and he's tried to play it in the air, which maybe was a more simpler pass than probably what it looked to be.
Well, Guiseley have the ball with Spencer Harris, but he's robbed here by Paul Walker. Paul Walker goes down the left-hand side. Harris catches him up, but Walker's into the area, takes a shot. Good work from Harris to recover the situation, block the shot. But it's only up to the halfway line where Hott gets the ball once again. Now all the green shirts in the Avenue, Guiseley area. Great shot from distance there from Hott. Rasping drive from a full 25 yards. Stephen Dredge had it covered. It went wide of the upright. But another moment there where Guiseley were almost creating their own downfall there.
Yeah, again, another mistake from one of our back four. It was Spencer who's tried touching it in, and the lads just nipped in. And he's recovered well, to be fair to him. But yeah, and the return to a 25-yard strike that will probably Drench had comfortable all the way.
Now Michael Burns goes battling for this ball, wins it off Chris Howarth on the left-hand side, then tries to feed it through and cut out by Mallory, just as it looked like Guiseley might make the breakthrough. Davidson comes over the halfway line now as Avenue counter-attack, lays it square here to Boschel. Boschel has Chilaka to his right, picks up the ball, does Chilaka. And now he's got Howarth overlapping. Avenue come forward once again. Jake Lawler and Ben Parker double up, but Boschel has the ball still in the right-hand side as they go forward. And it's gone out for a throw-in. Great work there from Michael Burns in that build-up just moments earlier, but once again the final ball just not there.
Just that final ball that's just not happening for us today. Yet again down the left-hand side, Michael Burns done really well. I'm sure it'll come.
Throw in now. Nicky Boschel has it for Avenue, right by the corner flag. On the right-hand side as Avenue attack this goal. And they get the ball back here on the edge of the area. Nicky Boschel lays it in. And it's easy for Stephen Drench to collect. He clears it very quickly. Up towards Brooksby. Brooksby can't collect that one, though. Asking a lot of him. And Avenue recover the ball. Just a little spell of play that Avenue are on top here. Walker out to Marshall on the left-hand side as they come forward down that flank. Lays it back to Hott. Hott outright, asking a lot of Howarth. Howarth gets a touch on it, but Burns intercepts. Swain and Burns combine nicely. Swain can get on the end of this. Goes through two Avenue players. Gets the ball down towards the touchline. If he can get this across to Brooksby's in the area. Great ball in. Just a last-ditch header from James Knowles to take it away from Brooksby, who was waiting to apply the finish. And once again, everything but just that final moment. Guys, come close there. Ball down the right-hand channel, looking for Wayne Brooksby. Wayne Brooksby wins it from Maxfield. Has a chance to get it into the area. Goes back. He's got Jack Rear to help him on the right-hand side. Lays it square into Gavin Rothery on the edge of the area, under pressure. Rothery helps it on here to Swain. Swain turns one man into the area, gets a shot away with the left foot. Oh, it was well connected there by Lewis Swain, but once again, just wide of the mark.
Yeah, great effort there from Lewis Swain on the left-hand side of the goal, taking a touch, and he's hit it across the goal again. It's just probably gone about 3 or 4 yards wide, but another great chance.
Super move once again from Guiseley. Great build-up play. Best chances, no question about it, have been Guiseley's. They've carved out some great openings. But the only goal so far is Bradford Park Avenue's Alex Davison on 26 minutes. And now a flick on here from the clearance has Steve Drench coming out of his goal. And I was awaiting for the clunk of the ball on the main stand here, but it's even gone beyond that. And it's new balls, please.
Yeah, he had to make sure there, Drench. Yeah. Take everything with that one.
Throw-in comes in from Howarth, taken down by Davison. Davison does well under pressure from Rothery. Picks the ball up. Burns gets a foot in. Rather weakly, Davison wins the free kick.
Yeah, that was a soft one for me, that. On Alex Davidson again. Seemed to be very little contact, and referees give a free kick there for some reason.
Yeah, we're a little perplexed by that. But it's a chance once again for Avenue to get the ball into the area. Nicky Boschel looking to distribute. 40 minutes gone. 1-0 to Avenue. Boschel with a free kick. Helps it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Great claim there from Stephen Drench. Very cool hands. And then plays the ball very neatly to the feet of Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby under pressure. Bundled off by Paul Walker. And Avenue come again. Once down again now on this left-hand side. It's Alex Davison. Helps the ball down the right-hand side here to Nicky Boschel. The area. Shadows Ben Parker. Gets the foot. Oh, shot away with the left foot. Was curling in towards the edge of the on the inside of the left upright, but well held by Stephen Drench. And now a free kick has to be given there against Chris Howarth.
Yeah, blatant handball there, but back to Drencher there. Great save from Nicky Bosch. He's tried curling it in the far post, and Drencher's got across to it nicely and sent us on his way.
Yeah, and this is a free kick that's in a similar sort of dangerous area as the Avenue one just moments earlier. Wayne Brooksby steps up. It must be about sort of 20 yards from the edge of the 18-yard box. Fairly central. Lots of players lined up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Brooksby distributes, gets it in towards the penalty area, headed away. It was by Knowles. It's going to be a throw-in now to Guiseley. Michael Potts comes across to take. And it just seems to have lost the momentum for a second there. Picks out Jake Lawler. Little knock down to Potts. Potts has the ball at his feet, gets the ball into the area looking for Michael Burns. Cleared by Knowles. Another throw for Guiseley. Good bit of pressure this from the Lions, but we just need another ball.
Yeah, we're getting in good areas, but to be fair, Park Avenue defenders are doing well, especially Knowles at centre half. Won quite a lot of headers, winning his tackles. So
now rear into the throw towards Michael Burns. Burns can't win that one. It's gone behind for a goal kick, unfortunately. And once again, Avenue have the ball with John Lamb. Yeah, calm, collected build-up play, isn't there? And some good movement.
Yeah, we seem to slow it down a little bit there. It's quite frustrating, really. We just Just that killer pass that we're just lacking at the minute. Getting in great areas, but it seems to be slowing down a little bit.
Overall, we're heading to the break. Guiseley may be trailing. There's plenty of life left in this cup tie, though. Kevin Rothery's just given the ball away to Marshall, though. Marshall collects it. Some distance from goal. Lays it back here to Nathan Hott. Hott goes past Burns in the centre circle. Davison gets a little flick on, looking for the return. He can't get the ball any further, and Gavin Rothery has the ball at his feet. Under pressure. Lays it back here to Rhys Maynell. Now out wide here to Spencer Harris. Potts, really good touch. Helps it on to Brooksby. Back here to Jack Rea on the halfway line. Rea up towards Burns. Burns hugging that right touch line. Lays it back now. Bit of a chase on for Jack Rea to try and win this ball. It goes all the way back to John Lamb. Good work from Rea, never to give up the chase. Guiseley have a chance to win the second phase in the middle of the field. And they do. Rhys Maynell inside his own half. Still plenty of white shirts forward. Up here towards Louis Swain. Swain's touch a little bit loose. Gives the Avenue counter-attack a chance here. Nicky Boschel under pressure well from Potts. Didn't release the ball quickly enough. Now Guiseley have to hold this up and do well. Gavin Rothery forcing the ball all the way back to Mallory. Speculative one forward from Mallory. Looks for Chalaka, but he shouldn't get that. But Chalaka does. Beats Maynell. Goes down onto the touchline. Chalaka can lay it across, but for some reason it's already gone out, and I think it was that's been given.
He's done very well. It's a corner, yeah. He's done very well there, Chalaka, to keep that ball in. Maybe should have done a little bit better than picking one of the Avenue players out, but it's gone out for a corner, yeah.
Corner here to Avenue. Nicky Boschel will take it on this right-hand side. Green shirts lining up on the edge of the 6-yard box. Avenue lead by a goal to nil. The ball whipped in, headed away by Jack Rea. Only as far as Marshall. Marshall gets a shot! It's missighted. The goalkeeper taking a deflection, and it's Avenue's second of the afternoon. And it's another mountain for Guiseley to climb. It's now Guiseley 0, Bradford Park Avenue 2.
Yeah, great first clearance from Jack Rea under his own crossbar from the first corner that's come in, land on the edge of the box, and Richard Marshall who's just sort of toe poked it. It's got a deflection on the way, left leaving Drenchy no chance at all. 2-0 Park Avenue.
Out here to Rothery. Rothery feeds it on now to Brooksby. Brooksby on the edge of the area, helps it in towards that area where Burns was waiting, but Howarth watches it very coolly, helps it away. And there we go, the referee says that's half time. It's been a very frustrating first 45, plenty of chances for Guiseley, but in the end, well, one moment to switch off, a deflected ball through, found Alex Davison. He applied a very good finish, it has to be said, to give Avenue the lead. And then Richard Marshall, after Guiseley cleared the corner, only to the edge of the area, finds his shot, takes a spirited first half performance, but it's not been the result, the scoreline that we'll be hoping for. Let's hope for better. Let's hope that the luck changes in the second half. Let's give you all the half-time scores and get you the reaction to that first half. It's going to be Francis Granger, but first Tom Feaheny.
Well, thank you, Colin. And at half-time then, it is Bradford Park Avenue who are 2 goals to the good at Nethermoor Park. And well, Francis, it's another case of guys playing so well, the ball not going in the back of the net, and then, well, 2 cheap goals, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, it's quite astonishing, really, because I could maybe argue say that Guiseley performed better in this game than the last 2. I mean, Michael Burns and Louis Swain looked really right. I mean, Swain had a few good chances. He got himself into very good positions, and like you said, the 2 goals that could have easily been cut out. So this will be a real test of character at half time.
Well, I was going to say one positive that has to be taken is the half Louis Swain has had. He's looked really dangerous. Someone who, of course, Bradford Park Avenue know all too well about. I thought he'd scored. Did you think he'd scored when he had that shot just going past the post? And if he'd have scored, that'd be 1-1.
Yeah, like I say, he got into a really good position. Some very good long balls from Michael Potts. It was that one in the opening 15 minutes where he dragged the ball wide, and then in the shortly after dragged it wide of the far post. He's passed well. He's looking quite confident. I think hopefully I'd like to see him stay on. And he could get a goal. But it's a real harsh knock on the home side. It's got to be said.
What do you think the guys of the defence could have done to maybe prevent them 2 goals?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, there were two sort of. The first goal was a bit of an error. I mean, they did hold their line quite well because Bradford were showing some real pace in the counter attack. I think it's perhaps to tighten up in the middle, really. Perhaps more concentration.
Well, we will be talking about the second half and what's going to happen after the scores that I will be talking about now. And in the Barclays Premier League, a full-time Tottenham 1, Chelsea 1. Sigurdsson with the goal in the first half for the home side at White Hart Lane. John Terry equalising, 25 minutes to go, and Fernando Torres getting sent off, apparently quite a harsh red card for 2 bookings. Manchester City lead Aston Villa at Villa Park, and it's Yaya Toure who scored just on the stroke of half-time. Fulham 1, Cardiff 1. Stephen Corker giving the away side the lead, but again on the stroke of half-time, Fulham have equalised with Brian Ruiz. Hull lead West Ham United 1-0, Robbie Brady with a penalty, and Manchester United 0, West Brom 0, Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 0, and at 5:30 it's Swansea against Arsenal. In the Sky Bet Championship, Nottingham Forest won a bit of a tasty derby, 1-0 against Derby County. Hobbs with the goal just before half-time. Derby County, despite going down to 10 men, it does look like they were the better side going into the final 10 minutes and, well, on another day could have got an equaliser. Bolton 0, Yeovil 0, 2 sides under a bit of pressure. Of course, when you look at Bolton and how well they played at the end of last season and the start they've had this season, they're currently bottom of the league. Well, they're hoping to be getting 3 points today. Bournemouth 0, Blackburn 3. Blackburn, of course, it's Jordan Rhodes with the goals. Leon Best getting a goal as well. So Jordan Rhodes, another 2 for him, and he is a player who surely will be getting a move to the Premier League. Maybe he'll get a move to the Premier League with Blackburn Rovers. Burnley are leading Charlton 1-0. Burnley have made such a good start, and Danny Ings with another goal. Carlisle and Notts County are drawing 1-1. It's Crawley 1, Oldham 0, Crewe 0, Gillingham 1. Leyton Orient are leading Walsall 1-0. MK Dons are 3-1 up against Stevenage. Preston North End are a goal up against Swindon. And then Rotherham v Peterborough, Tranmere v Port Vale, and Wolves v Sheffield United. They're all goalless and they're all half-times. In the Sky Bet League 2, Chesterfield lost to Mansfield 1-0. Of course, Chesterfield on that incredible run of form, top of the league. Mansfield, well, they got promoted last season. They've made an all-right start, but it's a big win for them, and Chesterfield would not have been expecting that. Burton are a goal up against Scunthorpe. It's 0-0 between Cheltenham and Wimbledon. Dagenham and Redbridge are a goal up against Bury. Fleetwood 0, Exeter 0. Hartlepool are a goal down against in-form Oxford United. Newport are 2-0 up against Torquay. And it's Northampton 0, Morecambe 0, Plymouth 0, Accrington 0. Rochdale are 3-1 up against Wickham. And York City are beating Portsmouth 1-0, with getting the goal so far. Well, in the SPL, a big result for Celtic, 2 to Kilmarnock and 5 to Celtic. Georgios Samaras with a hat-trick. And of course that game against Barcelona coming up on Tuesday. Celtic are now banging form after a bit of a blip against Morton. And Hearts 0, Dundee United 0, Inverness 1, Hibs 0, Motherwell 0, Ross County 1, and St Johnstone 1, Partick Thistle 0. And Francis, in terms of, well, some of the results involving local sides, just what are your thoughts on Bradford City being a goal 0 down? Let's talk about that first.
Well, that sounds a bit rather sort of an unfortunate circumstances after they've made sort of a quite positive start. I mean that you know, the fixture on paper looks like a very sort of tough game for potential promotion, really.
It's Millwall 0, Leeds United 0, and well, it's always a tasty affair. Would it just be good if Leeds United and Millwall could be in a game where we talk about what's happening on the pitch rather than anything happening in the stands?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I know I've heard quite from a few friends of mine who are Leeds fans. There's been a few sort of scuffles down the years, but I think Leeds have started fairly brightly, and they'll be certainly looking to that one that they should be expecting themselves to win.
Well, I'll be talking about the Squirrel Conference Premier now. Barnet are a 0-0 down against Salisbury. It's Braintree 0, Alfreton 0. Dartford are 1-0 up against Southport. Halifax 1, Chester 1. And of course, two sides who last season cost Guiseley their place in the Squirrel Premier. Lee Gregory getting his goal. And, well, Alex Johnson on loan from Halifax. It's a case that he's not in the team because... He's not in the team basically because, well, Lee Gregory's getting the goals and he's got another one, and maybe Guiseley will be able to extend the loan of Alex Johnson. We'll have to wait and see. Seddon with a goal for Chester. Of course, he was at Halifax, so a bit of bad blood there. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Forest Green are a 0-0 up against Gateshead. It's Grimsby 0, Tamworth 0, Hereford 0, Luton 0, Lincoln City 0, Hyde 0, Macclesfield 0, Welling 0, Woking 1, Nuneaton 0, and Wrexham 1, Cambridge 1. And thoughts on Halifax and Chester? They're both doing, well, Halifax are doing a lot better than Chester in the Squirrel Premier, but do you think they'll both stay up this season?
And that's a very tough question. I mean, they've both got quite sort of good facilities for their clubs, and I think from the start they've made, I would expect them to.
Glamour ties, it'd mean a lot for either of these sides.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, and also the chance of being televised on a Sunday afternoon that can completely change the foundations of a club, as we've heard from previous stories.
Well, it's interesting to note that Guiseley have brought their players out immediately. Mark Bauer is out now a good few minutes before Bradford Park Avenue. Look like they're going to be bringing any players out. Do you think Mark Bauer will be angry with his side's first half performance, or do you think it will be another case of being frustrated?
I think he'll be frustrated, but I think he'll be fairly happy with the performance. I mean, I'd be disappointed if he would really sort of blasted his head off at the way they played, because their confidence will be a bit low from the results, and they really do need to get back to basics and start playing well before getting the win around the corner.
Well, let's hope the Lions can get a few goals and maybe get a replay, maybe win the tie, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. The second half now, the commentary first, it's Danny Ellis, but first of all, it's Colin Robertson.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. And we just wait while the two sides are coming out. Guiseley are already out. They've been pretty sharpish out of the dressing room. No doubt the referee, the words of Mark Bauer were to just get out there, continue what you were doing. Surely the goals will come. I mean, the performance has been so different to the scoreline once again, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just that final push and the final third that's just not happening for us. I don't know what it is, and any half chance teams are getting against us, they're putting it away, and it's just shown exactly the same again today. So hopefully this half we can luck will change maybe.
Yeah, well, we certainly hope so. Guiseley are now out, Avenue are out, and we will have a substitution already. Andy Holdsworth is coming on from Michael Burns. What do you make to that then, Danny?
Yeah, obviously Andy can get hold at ball. I actually think Burns has done well, especially that half. He's got on a lot of ball, played some good balls in. I just think Mark just wants to change it see if he can push on now.
Well, be interesting to know if that means a change of formation, but it does mean that Michael Burns is off at half-time and Andy Holdsworth is on. Guiseley have a lot to do in this second half if they're to recover their FA Cup dreams. At the moment they're trailing by 2-0. Richard Marshall and Alex Davidson, the goal scorers. And we're underway here as Avenue have to defend because Rothery plays it into Brooksby. Brooksby takes it into the penalty area, gets the ball across the face of goal. John Lamb grabs it. Louis Swain was waiting, but Lamb gets enough of a hold.
We started, kicked off, got in a great area again. Wayne's put a great ball in the box. There's nobody there, and keepers collected it quite comfortably.
Maxfield with a throw, plays it square to Hott. Hott controls with his chest, plays it back to Maxfield, and then goal finds Howarth. Takes a shot from distance. He's ambitious, always rising, never quite likely to hit the back of the net. It's gone behind for a goal kick. So bright start to this second period.
Yeah, it's got both sides having both teams have had sort of half chances. So
46 minutes gone. Guys, they have a big 45 minutes of football ahead of them. And guys, the AFC radio. The Lions trail by 2-0. Chilaka helps it forward. Goes all the way back to Stephen Drench. Drench helps this one up into the Avenue half, where Brooksby takes it down very well. Lays it square to Rothery. Rothery turns, plays the ball out to Brooksby. Good combination play. Brooksby down the left-hand side. Skips past one, gets a tackle and a challenge. And the referee gives a free kick right on the edge of the corner of the 18-yard box. It's going to be a free kick in a very dangerous place, this.
Wayne on that left-hand side, cut inside, just took definite foul. So important we get an early goal, especially this half now. So fingers crossed.
Andy Holdsworth has the ball at his feet. He's got a record against Avenue of scoring from free kicks. Grabbed 2 on New Year's Day. Can he do the same here again? He's looking to distribute this one into the area. Plenty of white shirts in around the edge of that 6-yard box. Referee blows the whistle. Holdsworth takes the free kick, whips it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Over hit, over everyone, and behind and out for a goal kick. Disappointing moment after the build-up.
Yeah, a bit disappointed with that free kick there. I'm sure Andy will be as well. Just kicked it straight out, hit it too hard and gone straight out for a goal kick.
He's only been on the field 2 minutes though. Holdsworth substitute this afternoon. Second substitute's going to be taken for Avenue now before the corner can be taken. It's Adam Clayton who's coming in, and it's Nicky Boschel who's coming off. Maybe he's had a knock after the break, not felt comfortable with continuing. Not a good time, is it, to take a substitution from a corner, I always understood?
No, it's a bit of a strange one, but I noticed Nicky warming up before the game, and he were 50-50 I think to play, so not really surprising him going off, but in the manner of a corner, it's a bit drastic.
Corner now to Guiseley. Can they get their foothold back in this game? Holdsworth with the corner. Good distribution in towards the edge of the area.
Yes!
Goes in the back of the
Get
net.
in there!
Just there at the back post. Jake Lawler
Get
with
in
a
there.
vital touch. Avenue have conceded. Guiseley have scored at last, and it's Jake Lawler at the back post. And it's now Guiseley 1, Avenue 2.
Great finish there from Jake. I think it just actually hit him. Don't know where they have there. He just actually, I don't think anyone's actually challenged for the ball. Great finish though. Well, to Jake.
Well, that's the moment that we were looking for. Perhaps the luck has turned. Like you say, it wasn't I don't know if so much if it was a finish as a ball that he didn't expect to see, and it bounced off him in the net.
Yeah.
But Guiseley, nonetheless, hold back in this game. Trail by 2-1 still. But an early goal in this second period from Jake Lawler. Lions a chance, the momentum potentially to get back in this game. Three of Avenue. Maxfield, one of them. The fullback lays it forward to Chilaka. Chilaka down the left-hand side. Under pressure from Harris and Ria. Ria gets the tackle in.
Good tackle by Jack there.
Statue-wise, it's not an equal contest, that. Jack Ria does win it, though. And now it's Paul Walker, twisting and turning on the edge of the area. Has the ball robbed from him by Jack Ria. Helped up towards the edge of the centre circle in the Avenue half. Headed away. Now Jack Ria, throw forward, looking for Swain. Swain beaten off it. And then Maxfield wins it. Guys, he look to have the wind up their sails. Good running from Rothery and Brooksby, almost closing down Mallory in the dangerous area. Avenue fight this one away. It's going to be a very passionate final 40 minutes of this game, and the ball forward there from Rhys Maynell, looking for Louis Swain, just a bit too far ahead of him. Certainly a lot of thumbs up in terms of what they were trying to do. It's gone out for a throw-in anyway, though, to Avenue.
Yeah, we've started off this half really well. Hopefully we'll get another goal early doors.
Headed away Spencer Harris, flicked on by Nathan Hott, headed on by Rhys Maynell. Up here towards Rothery. Rothery takes a knock in the back and loses possession. Guys, you just have to watch this. Chilaka and Spencer Harris. Harris gets the better of the Avenue frontman, gets it back to Stephen Drench. Long ball forward into the Avenue half, and a flick on there by Gavin Rothery earns a throw-in. The referee just making sure it's taken from the place he wants it taken from. Jack Rea lays it square here to Andy Holdsworth. Now into Potts. Potts can go back to Holdsworth. Holdsworth just inside the Avenue half. Lays a lovely ball forward, finds Rothery. Rothery tries to feed him through Swain. But then a good tackle denies Rothery getting the second ball by Hott. And now Walker can come away with it. It's full-blooded stuff at the moment here at Nethermoor. Chalaka tries to feed through the ball to Walker, but Lawler watches that one so carefully, and then a great ball forward, finds Rothery. Rothery on the right flank, gets the ball across the saves the goal. Helped away by Hott, just not the delivery he'll have been hoping for. Swain was in there and Rothery was in there. Now Guiseley have to watch the counter-attack. Chalaka has the ball at his feet, helps it back to Hott. Hott on the right-hand side, helps it out to the other substitute, Clayton. Clayton flicks it forward now to Howarth. Howarth on the right flank can get the ball into the area, but he's been flanked well by Parker. Parker forces him back, but Clayton gets second ball and a lovely little ball in from him to Davidson in the area. Davidson turns his man, goes down to the line, gets the ball back. It's a chance here for Walker. Walker takes a shot. Well tackled there from Jake Lawler, just enough to put him off. And the referee indicates a goal kick when all around him expected it to be a corner.
To be fair, it was a great challenge from Jake Lawler. It had to be right again in the box. I think the referee might have got that one wrong.
We'll take that. It's about time. I'm not saying anything. Colwyn Bay. Potts has the ball in towards Rothery. Rothery's taken down from behind. There's going to be a second booking, another booking rather, the second one of the match. And I think it's Marshall who is the recipient of this. Rothery once again down. He attracts a lot of challenges, doesn't he?
He does Gav. It seems to get kicked all over parks. The style of play does as well. Tempts the defenders into challenging, and then when they do, his little touch.
No harm done this time to Gavin Rothery, so he's on the edge of the area. This free kick, just about 5 yards in from the left-hand flank as guides the attack. Left touchline. Andy Holdsworth getting instructions from Mark Bauer. Some distance from the goal. Played the ball in towards the area, and it was almost flicked on there by Rhys Maynell, but it somehow eluded him and straight to John Lamb. And then John Lamb plays a good ball out here to Walker. Walker on the halfway line. Shadowed well by Jack Rea. Walker goes across field, plays it to the other flank here, where Howarth is waiting. Playing an advanced position here, Howarth. Plays it ball forward. Tackled well by Guys. He's defending well in numbers. Andy Holdsworth plays it forward, looking to release Louis Swain. Louis Swain able to take it away from Mallory. Good defending though there from the Avenue man. And the tension and the pace of this game just continues. Hott. It's a bit of a loose ball, but has the ball in his own half. Back here to Mallory. Mallory forward up towards Chalaka. Little flick from Chalaka. And well watched by Stephen Drench. Collects the ball that rolled through and then distributes it out here well. Brilliantly to Brooksby. Brooksby, a poor ball short towards Potts. And a free kick is conceded by Potts. And it's going to be a free kick to Bradford Park Avenue.
Yeah, great ball up there from Stephen Drench up to Wayne. He's took a first touch, took him a little bit too far, and he's just had to make a sort. Well, what a foul, wasn't it? There was no argument in that.
Avenue now have it on the left-hand side with Paul Walker. Paul Walker cuts inside. Plenty of white shirts ahead of him. Hott now tries to change the angles and plays it out wide towards Howarth, but it's beyond him and out for a throw-in. So, Guiseley have a throw-in in their own left-hand position, left-back position even. And now, under pressure, Potts has to try and get this ball out. In the end, does really well. Some real skills there to take the ball away, but only as far as Clayton. Clayton helps the ball on towards Chalaka on the edge of the area, helps the ball back into the area where Clayton tried to get a shot away. No power to it. Good work from the substitute, Adam Clayton. Guys, he almost undone there after great work from Potts under tremendous pressure in left back.
Yeah, great ball in there. He's played it first time. Little 1-2 and he's got round him. He probably should have done better, the Bradford Park Avenue player there.
Ball forward now, looking for Swain, headed away. And Guiseley once again concede possession here. This little spell just going a little bit more Avenue's way after real pressure from Guiseley in the opening moments of the second half. Mallory launches it long, looking for Chilaka. It's a bit of an aimless ball forward, and it's out for a throw-in in front of the Avenue fans in the covered terrace opposite us in the main stand here. You get the feeling that this recovery, this turnaround is on, do you, Danny?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. There's, having said that, Bradford are coming out strong now. They've settled down these last sort of 5 minutes, and for themselves, his chances opening up, which will happen if we're going for it, which we've got no choice but to. But we're still hanging in there, doing well, and I'm sure we'll get another chance.
Andy Holdsworth just has a little bit of a knock. I think it was on Davidson, and it's going to be a free kick to Avenue. Midway through the Guiseley half, very central, probably about 10 yards from the edge of the centre circle. There's a chance for a set piece for Avenue. Walker stands over it. There's about 5-6 green shirts right on the edge of the D in the 18-yard box. Guiseley have to defend this one well. Excuse me. Ball goes into the area, flicked on, headed away by a Guiseley man, up and towards the edge of the area where Davidson collects it. Tries to twist and turn, but well blocked by Jack Rea. Out only as far as Walker. Walker into Marshall. Marshall on the left-hand side. Tries to go past Rothery. Gets a great ball into the area. Beyond everyone, though, in a green shirt and collected by Ben Parker. But really good ball there from Marshall. Just unfortunately from his perspective, there weren't a green shirt in the right place. But Avenue come forward again. Howarth down the right-hand channel. Held up by Parker. Good tackling from Parker. But Howarth gets a second ball back off the Guiseley defender. And then a free kick is given against Parker. I'm not quite sure what that was for, and immediately the referee goes to his pocket. Guys having no luck with refereeing decisions. What do you take to that, Danny?
I think the referee there seen his arms on his shirt. I think he's pulled them back for that, from what I can see from here. Nothing really intent. Just looks like he's caught his shirt and referee's just blown. But well, it's in an awkward position for us to defend here.
Yeah, it is right on the right-hand side. It's like more the worse position than a corner. Just about, I'd say, level right at the touchline, but level with the 18-yard box. So a dangerous point, an opportunity for them to swing the ball in here. Paul Walker stands over it. Plenty of green shirts on the edge of that 6-yard box as they look to restore a 2-goal vantage. Ball into the area, flicked over by James Knowles. Sigh of relief from the Guiseley fans, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, great ball in there. Free header to be. James Knowles had a free header there, and he's headed it over at crossbar. It's a bit of a let-off, really, for us.
Another substitution. And they're going to see Paul Ennis on for Gavin Rothery for the last half hour. I can only assume that must be that Gav's got a knock of some sort.
Yeah, I'm surprised that if it worked for a knock, it looks like he's putting ice on his leg now as we speak, so... yeah.
He's played well this afternoon.
He's done really well. He just seems to get kicked to bits every game.
Certainly attracts the kicks, that's true. So guys, you've had to roll the dice again. Both teams have played 2 substitutes now. Paul Ennis comes on. The ball forward, looking for Chibchalaka. Beaten away by Maynell and Spencer Harris. Louis Swain goes looking for this ball as well. It's helped forward towards Walker inside his own half, though. Jack Rea can't get the ball off him. And good movement again by Avenue. Good tackle from Lawler, but Marshall continues with his run. Central down into the Guiseley half. Picked up now by Alex Davison into the penalty area. Lays it back. Poor ball. Picked up by Jake Lawler. Under pressure, Lawler does well to get it out. And then Holdsworth helps it on to Ennis. Ennis, well, he can't go past Hott. But Brooksby picks up the ball. Brooksby with options. Robbed for a moment there by Mallory. The second phase picked up well by Lawler. And then out wide here to Jack Rea. Jack Rea, under pressure from Paul Walker, plays a lovely ball into Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby back to Lawler. Square now to Potts. Potts forward to Brooksby. Brooksby helps it out wide, but it's a bit of a heavy touch. And it's a fortunate one, though. Seems to have taken a deflection. It's a Guiseley throw.
Yeah, great build-up there. Great ball in from Jack Rea up to Wayne Brooksby. Took a great touch. Popped it out wide.
Guiseley now concede possession inside the Avenue half. Chance for a counter-attack. And it's launched long, looking for Chilaka. Out comes Steve Drench, chests it down comfortably under pressure from Chilaka, and then lays it in towards Maynell. I'm going to say he had that under control.
I'm sure he did, Drench, yeah. Sure he did.
Either way, the end result is that Guiseley clear the lines. It's up into the Avenue half. Hott under pressure from Ennis. Hott has a few options, has to go back to Knowles. Knowles launches a long one forward. Time here for Spencer Harris to take it down his chest, but Alex Davison anticipates that and robs him. Takes the ball forward, goes past Maynell, goes down. It'll be a free kick.
Again.
And I think Maynell's going to go in the book as well. And I think that's a little harsh. Some distance from goal, right across. He just ran across the face of the goal, but...
Yeah, Spencer's tried to bring it down there on his chest. Maybe he should have headed it. It's been intercepted by Alex Davison, and yet again he's been fouled. He must get fouled about, I don't know how many times a game, but similar to us with Gav Rothery, I think.
Yeah, well, Davison seems to have attracted the free kicks. Harsh on Maynell, especially when you're a centre-half on a yellow.
Yeah, got to be really careful there.
Well, the referee's just lining up the wall. This must be about sort of 10 yards away from the edge of the D again. Some distance from goal. Probably too far to shoot, I would think, but there are 3 or 4 green shirts on the edge of the 18-yard box. It's a chance here for Marshall. He does go for goal. I think that's wasteful, to be fair. It's gone high and wide.
Yeah, we're quite far out that for a shot from there. Quite hopeful, I think, that one.
I'll take that. Stephen Drench tries to launch a counter-attack with that distribution, but there wasn't the Guiseley man in the position he was expecting. Paul Ennis does well in midfield, wins the ball back though for the Lions, and gets good applause, but doesn't anticipate the second ball. Then there's a free kick. Not quite sure what that was for. I don't know if you saw something there.
Yeah, I think he just intercepted him there. He's played a 1-2 and he's just body checked him. Referee's seen it. He's been stood right next to it as well, so he's done well there, referee, to be fair to him.
He's just seen it off the ball then, yeah, and he's calling over. It's Nathan Hott who was the perpetrator, and just having a word. Come on, let's get this second goal. We need this.
Oh.
Professional video just breaks down for a minute. We need this second goal. Stephen Drench with the free kick. It's only more, it's not hardly a veneer anyway. Drench with the free kick. Gets the ball into the area. Nobody picks it up. Jack Lawler helps it on. Under pressure, but his nod on goes out and it's a goal kick. And you just hope with Stephen Drench, every time he gets that ball, when we watch it from here, Danny, you know, you just hope that he doesn't shank it. He's such a distance from goal.
It's just effortless with Drench with his kicking. It's unreal. Looks like he's not even touching, hardly kicking ball, and it goes twice as far as most people can kick it. It's unreal.
And his accuracy is always there, isn't it?
Yeah, his accuracy as well is just,
you know, if you
bang on every time.
If you're watching, you know, I don't know, René Higuita or someone taking the distribution coming out of goal, you'd think there's going to be something on here, but usually he's got the measure of it.
Yeah, you're always confident when his Drench is behind you with his kicking. He's rarely gonna shank one.
Well, we just got a little moment here because I think it's Jake Lawler, isn't it, that's down? It's in the box. It looked like he had cramp there for a moment. It's unusual.
Yeah, he looked like he was stretching like he had cramp from what I could see, but he's down. It's like his calf, I think, from here.
John Lamb was the first one to administer the necessary stretching of the foot back. Hopefully he'll be all right. It's a strange moment to get cramp. We've not played quite a lot. Maybe it was in the challenge. Landed awkwardly on it. 67 minutes gone. So a good 20-odd minutes yet to go with this game.
Looks like he's getting to his feet now. I think he's...
Well, hopefully we don't have to have another substitute because I think Jake Lawler's played well this afternoon again. Maybe he's just going to get some form of treatment to help him get that muscle back into shape. And he goes off the field. He's running, so I would expect him to come straight back on.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to come straight back on now.
John Lamb with the free kick, the goal kick rather, launches it down the left-hand side, goes beyond everyone, it's out for a throw-in. Jack Rea helps it back to Stephen Drench. Chilaka goes looking for it. Drench plays it coolly.
Great ball.
To Potts, a very cool ball into Potts just on the edge of the centre circle. Potts plays it forward, looking for Ennis, just ahead of him. And now suddenly, Avenue come forward down the right-hand side. Howarth, no one picked him up. Plays to Chilaka. Chilaka tries to go through. 3 white shirts. Rhys Maynell's there to clear, only up to the halfway line. Helped out here to Paul Walker. Avenue for the better of the last period of play and are coming forward once again here down this left-hand side. Walker goes towards the byline, has to check his run, goes back here to Maxfield. High by Maxfield, up towards the back post. Howarth is looking for it, almost caught Steve Drench on his line. It was a looping header and a really unusual cross. It sort of looped high in the air, thought it had gone out, found Maxfield. His sort of looping header back across goal just over the bar.
I think Maxfield even thought that went out then. He's got the ball on the left-hand side, he's leant back and he's crossed the ball. It looks like it's gone way behind and over the net and it's somehow stayed in play.
Goal kick to Guiseley. Immediately being returned into the Lions half. And it's Andy Holdsworth up to the halfway line with Ennis. Ennis forward here to Swain. Tries a little flick on to feed Brooksby through. Doesn't work in this instance, but Guiseley recover the ball with Holdsworth. Into Ennis. Ennis and Holdsworth combine. Now Holdsworth, some distance from goal, has few options, gives it to Ennis. Ennis finds back to Holdsworth. Holdsworth about 20 yards from goal, plays it square now to Ennis on the edge of the area. Plenty of green shirts shadowing him into the penalty area on the right hand side. Gives it back to Holdsworth. Holdsworth gets the ball into the area, flicked away. And Brooksby goes looking for the second ball, but well worked from Howarth up towards Chilaka on the edge of the centre circle inside the Avenue half. And Guiseley knocked the ball out into touch in the end. It's a throw into Avenue.
Yeah, great ball in there from Andy Holdsworth on this right hand side. Just clipped it in. To be fair, good defending from Avenue again.
So we head into the last 20 minutes. Guiseley do need this second goal. Trailing by 2 goals to 1, both in the first half from Avenue's perspective. Marshall and Davison. And Davison goes looking for another. Plays the ball wide here to Chilaka into the area. Great tackle. Superb tackle there from Spencer Harris. Prevents a corner and out into touch. You'd have been proud of that.
Yeah, perfectly timed. Had to be right as well. Perfectly timed challenge from Spencer. I'm just worried about Reese here because it looks like he's gone down. He looks in some agony.
Oh yeah, hadn't seen that, but yeah, off the ball. No idea what caused that.
He just seemed to be on the floor. I don't know what happened there. He's gone straight through. He's gone straight down on the floor. Reese holding I think it's his ankle. But yeah, great challenge from Spencer. Absolutely perfect challenge. Obviously still 2-1.
Well, it looks like there's going to have to be another change if that is the case. I don't know if the substitutes are warming up, but Rhys Maynell's looking at his ankle at the moment. That Stringfellow trying to do the magic. We've got a break. When we resume, Avenue will have a throw-in in a fairly dangerous position. Last 20 minutes. Disrupting, isn't it, with the injuries and the changes that have had to be made?
Yeah, it's little niggly injuries that we seem to be picking up as well. I mean, it's happened today again. It's just things not going right at the minute. I don't said it before the game, and it's happening during the game as well. Just little niggles, like you say.
Loss of Gavin Rothery is obviously a big one when he goes off with an injury after playing so well for that first opening hour, but since then we haven't had the ball much in that final third. Guys, you have to defend anyway. The throw comes in into Howarth. Howarth, a great ball across the face of goal.
Brilliant.
Well watched there by Stephen Drench. Quality claim from the goalkeeper. Now out wide here towards Louis Swain. Great distribution. Swain down the right-hand side. Too many players ahead of him. Alex Davison lunges with a tackle. Great tackle from Maxfield to deny Swain, and then Avenue can recover. But guys, he showed some incisiveness there. Swain gets a flick on the ball as he tries to intercept Paul Walker. Avenue still managed to somehow clear their lines. Up here with Marshall. Marshall out wide here to Davison. Davison looks for options ahead of him. Plays a lovely ball in here towards Howarth. Howarth into the penalty area. Onto the left foot. Slips. Gets it onto the right foot. Tries to feed in Chilaka. can't. And then it's away up here to Ennis. Guiseley help it out here with Jack Rea. Under pressure, Swain turns really well, tries to help it out, but gets a late challenge in on him, and it's a free kick to Guiseley, about level with the edge of the centre circle inside their own half. Taken quickly, perhaps a little bit too quickly, because Brooksby can't get on the end of it, but does win a throw for Guiseley.
Yeah, I just saw Wayne go down. Oh, Reece is down again now, and Wayne went down about 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know what the extent of Wayne. He's walking about, it looks all right.
Reece Maynell's definitely going to have to go off here. Jamil Eblay's coming on. And, beg your pardon. So it's James Burgess who comes on.
Right.
Beg your pardon. What do you make of that change? How would you see that swapping round?
I can't quite understand what we're going to do here. We've brought a striker on for Reece, obviously centre half. Unless we're probably going for 3 at back.
3 at the back.
With
yeah.
Or Jake Lawler might be sitting in at centre half.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Jake Lawler sitting in at centre half.
Throw-ins taken. Did well, didn't he, when he had to sit in there?
Yeah.
The other week. I don't know how much you saw of it. Potts is pulled up for a free kick in the middle of the Avenue half. So yes, we have another change to the back line. Yeah. Parker, Spencer Harris, Jake Lawler and Jack Rea now. And Guiseley are once again having to chop and change things as the injury curse strikes. Just as many injuries as the game against Avenue last time by my reckoning.
Yeah,
Marshall gets the ball into the area. It's a great ball. Finds Paul Walker inside there. Jack Rea holds him up really well. Gets a tackle in, but Walker rides it.
Well done,
Cut
Andy
out well by Andy Holder. Corner now to Avenue.
Yeah, good defending from Andy there. Stood up tall and just hit into him. So we defend this corner properly now.
Walker with the corner, whips it in up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Parker, flicked away by Brooksby. No substitutes left for Avenue to take. Burgess goes down the right-hand side, collects it from Andy Holdsworth. If he can run forward, Burgess tries to skip round Davidson, wins the ball off him after the tackle. He's got a man in the area, it's Louis Swain. Burgess takes a shot, cross from distance, easy for John Lamb to come collect. And you can probably hear from Danny Ellis's reaction, that was a waste of a chance.
Yeah, he got in great area then, did James, and he maybe should have clipped it along the floor, and he's tried clipping it in the air, and he's an easy one for Lamb in the end.
Avenue get the ball forward, but it's only as far as Stephen Drench. Now, most of the players are in the Avenue half. Drench comes well out of his goal, 10 yards from the centre circle. Plays one forward, but it's just returned all the way to John Lamb. Guiseley rolling every dice that can be rolled now. All 3 substitutes on. Last 13 minutes. It's Guiseley 1, Park Avenue 2. 2 goals for Avenue in the first half from Richard Marshall and Alex Davison. Then Jake Lawler got one early in the second. But the balance of play is returning Avenue's way in the second half rather than Guiseley's. And the Lions need to get more time, more ball in that final third of Avenue's half. It's out wide here with Potts. Potts helps it on to Swain. Swain, good work, gets pulled down. Once again, he's attracted a few fouls himself as Louis Swain.
Yeah, he's done great there. Ball into his feet. He's done a little Cruyff turn, got past the defender, and he just brought him back. Definite foul.
Chance now for Guiseley to get some men forward. Andy Holder steps across. This is about 10 yards from the centre circle. Fairly central. And so Jake Lawler comes up. Everyone in there. Only man back is Michael Potts against Chibchalaka. Holdsworth with the free kick. Up towards the edge of the area. Flicked away. Spencer Harris tries to win the ball once again. Gets a header on it, but it doesn't win the ball. Jake Lawler does. And then the referee comes in with a free kick for I'm not quite sure what.
Yeah,
and the move breaks down.
He's probably put his body in there and used his body to his advantage, and referees sort of thinks I think he's given it as obstruction, which I'm sure he has there on Spencer. But we're getting in good areas again. It's just not falling for us.
12 minutes to go. 2-1 to Avenue in this FA Cup second round qualifying. Headed away by Jake Lawler, flicked on by Andy Holdsworth, helped on by Ennis, looking for Burgess, can't find his man. Guiseley tried to recover the ball. Ennis goes looking for it, helped forward over the halfway line, gone out for a throw-in. Guiseley keep the ball, and then the final substitution of the afternoon will be made, and it's Chris Howarth, who's played well actually. He's going to be replaced by Tom Corner. Howarth's looked dangerous, hasn't he, in the second half when he's come forward? Made some good movement down the right-hand side.
Yeah, he's got in some good areas and has been a good outlet for Park Avenue on the right-hand side.
Glad to see the back of him.
Yeah.
Throw in to Guiseley. Midway through their half. On the left-hand side. Helped on by Parker, up to Burgess. Burgess gets a little flick down with the chest. Square here to Potts. Potts under pressure from Marshall. Does well, plays the ball out here to Ennis. Ennis holds it up, lays it back into the feet of Parker. Parker out to Ennis. Ennis hugs the left touchline. Comes forward, has to check his run. Then gets the ball into the area with the right foot. Bounces up, nobody gets on the end of it. Jack Greer off with a volley that just blasts wide of the mark. Yeah. Just a half chance really. The ball bounced down, but he couldn't quite get any direction on it. And unfortunately, it's behind the goal for a goal kick.
Yeah, another half chance there. Jack Ray this time with a volley. It was a little bit missed by a fraction. Well, a bit more than a fraction, I'd have said. But now we've gone for three up front at Guiseley with Louis Swain, Wayne Brooksby and James Burgess. So I think plan of action is to get ball forward early, quickly.
Up here towards Burgess. Burgess takes the ball down. Tries to claim it off Hott. Well won here by Swain. Takes the ball away from Hott. Now out to Ennis. Ennis goes towards the edge of the area. Takes a shot with the right foot. There's no direction and it's gone out for a goal kick. Just one of these deflections, these deflected goals, dodgy penalties, anything, wouldn't it?
I'd take out a minute, yeah.
We're about due one. 9 minutes to go. Guiseley 1, Bradford Park Avenue 2. Here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Hope you're enjoying the coverage, if not the scoreline. Don't forget, of course, you can always tweet us if you've got anything to say about what's happening at Guiseley Radio. Cleared well by Spencer Harris. Out into touch, though, into the Bradford Park Avenue half in the left-back position. Not surprisingly, John Lamb has taken his time to trundle across the pitch. So we want to get things back underway and get the ball quickly up to this front three that Guiseley are now playing with. Jack Rea gets a little flick on it. Good work from Rea to win the ball back. Plays it down the right channel, looking for Burgess. Burgess muscles his way through and then is robbed by Maxfield. Earns his side a throw though. Good work here from Guiseley and good work there from Jack Rea. Rea from right back. Looks at options, lays it short. And a foul throw is given against Jack Rea. He picked out Louis Swain well. What a time for a referee to decide to pick up a foul throw.
I know. Especially in the position where it was as well, right on the edge of the box, and Jack's foul throw. He knows better than that, but yeah, it's a shame. It's not going for us for whatever reason.
And now a foul against Paul Walker by Spencer Harris, just inside the Avenue half. I was just busy banging my head on the desk here during Danny's summary there. Guiseley, we'll just see the game slowed down while Avenue take this free kick. It's just inside their own half on the left-hand side. Taken by Knowles, up towards the edge of the area. Helped on towards Corner. Corner can't keep it in play. It's gone behind for a goal kick. And Drench immediately tries to get the ball up the other end. Burgess battles for it, concedes a free kick against Knowles. And immediately gets a yellow card.
That's a bit harsh, that. Stood his ground there, he's backed into centre half and referee's giving him a yellow card. I can't understand that one.
I'm surprised he hasn't spoken to him, has he?
No, not at all.
Hasn't spoken to him previous to it for any reason. I don't think he's committed a foul yet.
No. Strange decision, that one for me.
Free kick anyway to Avenue inside their own centre half, inside the centre circle. Knowles it'll be. Launches it forward down the left-hand side. Looking for corner. Corner gets a good ball into the area. Helped away well by Andy Holdsworth. Now Guiseley perhaps can start a counter-attack. Flicked on by Swain. Looking for Ennis, but it was just ahead of him with the flick on. It's knocked out into touch though. Guiseley have the throw inside their own half. If they can just get the ball coolly among the back four, can start another attacking movement. Spencer Harris plays it long, direct up towards Swain. Beaten to it by Mallory. Helped down to Chilaka. Well robbed here by Ben Parker.
On, Ben.
Parker moves down the left-hand side. He's got options wide to him in Ennis. Ennis lays it back here to Brooksby. Brooksby now looks to play the ball forward into Parker. Played out to Ennis. Ennis goes down the left-hand channel into the penalty area.
Referee, come on.
The referee's given a free kick. I thought it was in the area.
Right on the edge of the box, that. Great play again, little 1-2.
And a yellow card for Chib Chilaka. Seems to be a yellow card for a foul at the
It's in
moment.
a good position, this as well.
Good build-up play, wasn't it?
Yeah,
there?
great link-up play with Wayne, Ennis. His body checked him out way there. Definite foul.
So the free kick, just so you're clear, is about level with the edge of the 6-yard box, just outside the penalty area, on the left-hand side. We've got plenty of white shirts in here, looking to get on the end of it. Ennis, I think, is going to take this. Referee just gets the wall, or the man, which is Chib Chilaka, back 10 yards, who's standing in front. Can Ennis deliver the killer ball? Ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Nobody gets on the end of it. Andy Holdsworth tries to get the second phase. Can't. Guys, he win the ball back with Jack Rea. He heads it forward. Cleared desperately away by Avenue. Jack Rea can get this one, but taken down really well by corner. Rea has to tackle to stop the counter-attack movement. The opportunity once again is lost. Throw in Maxfield takes. Burgess goes looking for it. And then Knowles,
Great
very
ball.
cool, brilliant ball out, crossfield ball out to the right-hand side where Chilaka now picks it up and runs down this right-hand shackle. Well won by Parker, but only as far as Marshall. And then good work here by Potts. Battled hard all afternoon. Wins the ball, lays it back to Parker. Parker feeds it forward into the feet of Brooksby and then to Ennis. Ennis and Brooksby don't really, not quite on the same wavelength. And the ball's won back by Avenue. Here with Hott. Hott wide to Walker. They could put this game to bed if they were to get a third now. Walker just on the left wing, tries to go towards the touchline, under pressure from Rea. Rea does well, blocks it and prevents it going from the corner. Picked up by Holdsworth and then to Ennis. Ennis plays it up towards the halfway line where Louis Swain does well to take it past Hott. Swain runs with it, tries to release Wayne Brooksby, just couldn't get the ball at his feet in time and it's blocked. And Avenue pick up the ball once again. And then as it's fed forward, Ennis and Swain can't win that one. And then good interception here by Ennis on the clearance from Mallory. Now chance for Swain to go forward. Starts to run at the Avenue defenders, but beaten away once again. It's going to be a very tense last few minutes here. Guiseley trailing by 2 goals to 1 to Avenue. 3 minutes to go, plus whatever the referee adds as stoppages. There's been a few actually in this second period. Spencer Harris. Guys, you have to go all out here to try and get the goal. Really poor ball by Harris. Just hands the ball back to Avenue. Avenue try the counter-attack. Tom Corner's offside. Steve Drench can turn one of these offside decisions into a chance to get the ball forward with his pinpoint passing. And look at this, everyone's stepping forward now.
Yeah, they're all going for it now. There's no option, but we've got to do. Hopefully get some end of this.
Steve Drench with the ball. Long one in towards the edge of the penalty area. Won by an Avenue man, only as far as Ennis. Ennis helps it to the edge of the area. Brooksby and Ennis look to combine. Ennis goes down towards the touchline. Tries to get the ball across.
Come on.
Blocked out and it's a corner. Corner to Guiseley.
Come on, boy.
2 minutes left. 2-1 down here in the FA Cup. Second qualifying round at home here to Bradford Park Avenue. Guiseley have a corner on the right-hand side. Paul Ennis, the substitute, steps across. Another injury hit afternoon that's seen changes have to happen. Ennis with the corner up towards the back post. Lawler gets it down. Shot from Harris. Headed
Jesus
over. A great volley from the centre half with the left foot, but somehow flicked over the bar.
Great work there from Jake Lawler's. Headed the ball back. Spencer's taken a touch. on the edge of the box and hit it. He caught it sweetly. It's got some sort of deflection up way through. I think got the Park Avenue head, but still 2-1.
The corner's taken short. Potts gets it in there to the feet of Swain. Swain into the area. Can't get the touch away. Takes a deflection off another Avenue man with his shots and bounces over once again. It just looks like being one of those days. Once again, a minute left here at Nethermoor. Guiseley have a third corner in a row now. Andy Holdsworth. Everyone's up here. With it on the left-hand side now. And Holdsworth in swinging. Up towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Helped away by Adam Clayton. Big shout for a push in the area on Burgess. Nothing given. Now Paul Ennis has to tidy things up. Can Jack Rea get this? A bit of a loose touch. Paul Walker robs him. Paul Walker goes through on goal. Only the goalkeeper to beat. Walker to the edge of the area. Battled back brilliantly by Jack Rea after his mistake in the first instance. But great defending there by Jack Rea.
Absolutely brilliant recovery in there from his own mistake. He's took a bigger ball's gone back to him after the corner. He's taken a big touch. Their striker's run through. He's recovered absolutely superbly. Just out for a corner for Park Avenue, which was certain to be a goal scoring opportunity.
Well, here we go. They're in no hurry to take this. It's just whatever's been added, and there's 4 minutes to be added. We're coming up to the 45. We need it at the other half, though. Avenue take the corner. Right in the corner flank. Win another corner once again. It's a throw-in, rather. Just right down by the corner on the left-hand side as Avenue attack this goal. They're looking to just count the clock down. Perhaps the best chances that guys have had have passed, but we still have 4 minutes, or 3.5 by the time this will be taken, for Guiseley to get something back and take this to a replay. It's gone behind for a goal kick. Good defending.
Yeah, good defending there in the corner from Wayne and Jack. Just got to push on now and go for it. I mean,
Stephen Drench, long one forward, up for Burgess. Burgess gets the flick on, nobody ahead of him. Goes all the way back to John Lamb. John Lamb will need to be encouraged to pick that one up. And we are now looking for three minutes of stoppage time. Attendance of 595 here today. Good crowd for a local derby. Picked up now by Tom Corner. Paul Walker now comes forward once again for Avenue. Walker goes down towards the touchline under pressure. Brilliantly tackled for Andy Holdsworth. Couldn't stop it going out for the corner though. Another Avenue corner. And this will just use up more of the final couple of minutes. Somehow the ball has just not got in the back of that net for that second. 2 or 3 shots deflected over. The body's in the way. Rubber the green with the greens. Avenue just wasting time and using time up. It's a throw-in to them just from the corner as they just seem to try and use this one up. Marshall looks to invite the free kick, or invite the deflection. Good work there from Jack Rea. Guys, they have the throw-in. If they can move it forward, that's the challenge. Jack Rea's got no options here. Up here towards Brooksby. Nobody can get on the end of this. Picked up by Hott. Hott helps it square to Chalaka. Chalaka some distance from goal. Goes back. Burgess pressures his fellow number 19. His opposing number. And does. Now it's picked up here by Ben Parker. Can Guiseley get the ball into that Avenue half one more time and create a meaningful opportunity? Ennis runs forward. Tackled by Alex Davison. Hott helps it forward. Corner has it down the right-hand side. Only Jake Lawler to beat on that side, but Jake Lawler holds him up well. But it's all the wrong part of the field at the moment.
Yeah, frustrating at minute. Ennis has gone through there and he's given the ball away in a sort of bad area on the halfway line. Counter-attacking, and Jake Lawler there's done really well defending on the right for Park Avenue.
Guiseley win possession back though from the throw. Lawler launches it correctly forward down the field. Everyone's in the Guiseley half though at the moment, so as they come charging out, Avenue have time to return the ball. Can Steve Drench just pick this up? Referee looking at his watch. By my reckoning, we've now had the 4. Drench, can he launch one final attack here? Up here towards Burgess. Burgess beaten to it. Back here with Ben Parker. Can Parker get this one into the area? Holdsworth helps it forward to Burgess on the edge of the area. Turns his man, plays it square, hit to Brooksby. Brooksby gets a shot away, but it's deflected once again. Ennis, distance from goal, has to be now if Guiseley are going to get anything. It's in with Swain. Swain's shots held by John Lamb, and it looked for a moment like he might just fumble it out to Potts, but that's the game. That was Guiseley's last chance, surely. We've had more than the 4 minutes, and surely we're just waiting now for the referee to blow his whistle. But Guiseley still have it. Potts helps it forward, looking for Burgess. Too easy for Lamb in the end. And we're into the 5th minute of added time. Guiseley, no, 4th minute, sorry, my maths has gone all wrong there. We've counted it up. We've had the 4th minute of added time now. And surely that was the chance. The ball now with Spencer Harris. Back here to Stephen Drench. Can Guiseley just get the ball into the opponent territory and get enough time to get something else? Flicked on by Burgess, block on Swain. Ball back with John Lamb. Brooksby has to go chasing. The FA Cup dream looks to be over once again for Guiseley. And John Lamb, as he takes this kick, well, you can probably hear the final whistle go. The damage was done in the first half. Alex Davison got the first on 26 minutes. The deflected ball found its way to him. A good finish to give Avenue the lead. Richard Marshall got the second. A corner cleared to the edge of the area. His shot took a wicked deflection past Stephen Drench. It looked like the tide was going to turn in the second half when Guiseley got back a goal within the first 10 minutes when Jake Lawler was on hand just to bundle the ball over. But it just wasn't to be, despite the final flurry of chances that Guiseley had. Somehow Avenue managed to get, I don't know, a back, a head, an elbow, whatever it needed to bounce it over the bar. And in the end it's finished here. Guiseley 1, Bradford Park Avenue 2. So Danny, I'm just wondering what your final words are on the thought of that match.
You've covered most of it there. I mean, first 20 minutes we created some great chances. We didn't really test the keeper out. Second half we did exactly. Obviously we're going in 2-0 down. Second half we scored an early goal, exactly what we wanted, and then it just didn't seem to happen for us. One of them days, really.
Well, it's definitely been one of those days. Unfortunately, it means it's the end of the FA Cup journey for this year. And it's finished here. Guiseley 1, Bradford Park Avenue 2. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage here on Guiseley AFC Radio, even if you obviously won't have enjoyed the scoreline. We'll be back next Saturday for the game against Altrincham. But for now, well, thanks go to Danny Ellis for joining us this afternoon in the commentary box. Hopefully we can persuade him to do it again. But we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Cheers.